Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter. I am ZodWriter, and with me is my special guest for tonight, none other than your average gamer, one of my favorite people on YouTube. I got to admit, man, I started watching your content a while ago. I'm a big fan of what you're doing, and I'm just glad you're here. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh man, anytime you family, bro. I've been following you for a bit as well. I'm a big movie buff. So
Okay.
I've caught you a few times like you actually interviewed one of the I think he's creme de la creme, Robert Meyer Burnett. Um loves some Star Trek. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I see that.
he's great. He's a great friend. He's a great guy. I love any chance I get to talk to him. And one of these days coming up, I am going to have him back here on Late Night Q&A for another chat. So it's always great to talk to him. And yeah, I love ranting and talking about the movies and stuff too. But one of the things that I've loved and is all that's always been in my heart is home arcades. And this home arcade community, bro, the way it's growing and growing and growing, it's incredible. I've never seen, and it's just such an honor and such a privilege to know to get to know everybody in this community. I mean, it's like I was talking with Jong from my arcade over Facebook the other day, and it was just so nice how accessible how he is. You can send him some DMs and you can have a discussion, and he's really cool. And of course, a lot of us have gotten to know John D from Arcade One Up pretty well. And it's really one of those scenarios, man, where this community, I think, is one of the most accessible communities out there if you're a fan of home arcades. I don't know if you agree with me
Dude,
about
I,
that.
I agree with you 100%. It's almost it's a perfect storm actually. Like you have people being stuck at home, having nothing to do. This comes on the scene. Um, you know, Nostalgia is a big thing. Everything retro is a big thing. So you have all that happening all at once. And then you have this small niche in YouTube and in this community of people who have a passion for gaming. So you know, it just all comes together, and it's really cool. Like you see the same individuals and people's chats and stuff like that. You start growing, and then when these machines started getting online, right? You start building even those relationships even become more real because you're talking to these individuals not just through chat, through Discord, through voice calls, through gaming, and it kind of brings a family together. To be quite honest with you, so it's cool.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I love seeing everything that's happening. And now with laundromat wars, I mean, come on, man. That's the place to be. I mean, there was some great stuff going on laundromat wars. I mean, you had the dark queen.
Yeah, she badass, bro. Like and again, that's being part of the community, seeing her in other communities. And it's cool. You start to put faces together with these names, and you know it's awesome. And the big reason why we started the laundromat war was because of the community. We wanted to get people involved, people to have fun, and you don't have to be the best player, and you just come in there and play and showcase and have
That
fun with the community.
that's my thing too. Like the whole object of this entire hobby is to have fun and get to know as many people as you can, because you want to have friends, you want to have that sense of family and that sense of community through these games, through this nostalgia, through all of this stuff that means so much to everybody. And one of the things that you guys have managed to capture with the laundromat wars is exactly that. It's like I'll go on there and I'll just be in the chat and I'll be excited about everything you guys are doing and the tournaments. And it's like I plan to participate myself, but I'm like, at this point, I'm looking at how Fightcade is, and I'm a little bit nervous about pineapples, because I got to be honest with you, bro. Like when it comes to Fightcade, I used to consider myself good at Mortal Kombat 1, because it's literally my favorite arcade game of all time. And just like our good friend Console Fanboy, aka Zohar, he got the collector's edition, the hapstick with the buttons, with the Mortal Kombat 1 panel just for Fightcade. So you could play. So I did the same thing. I followed suit. I got myself that exact panel. I loved it. I was kicking butt and taking names on Mortal Kombat. Then I go and the first person I play on Fightcade, I don't know. I don't know who it was, but I'm just gonna say Worst Jago just because I don't know for sure. So I'm gonna say him for example. I got my butt handed to me. So then I played a couple of other matches and I won a couple matches, and then I lost in what I consider to be an inhuman way. And the fact that I don't know how this person was able to pull off some of the moves that they were pulling off.
Yeah.
And then I realized that some people use keyboards, programmed controllers, programmed fight sticks, hitboxes, different things that were never really meant to be used for these types of arcade games. So that kind of put me off with Fightcade. I'm not really as excited as I was, but seeing what you guys are doing with Laundromat Wars got me excited again, because I see you guys as friends. I see you guys as good people. I see you guys as family. I see it as a place I can go to and be like, yeah, if I want to play a match, I can be in there and be happy to play and be playing against people who actually want to have a fair match and have a fun time, and not just be about totally demolishing everybody because you can hit a couple of keys on a keyboard.
Well, let me tell you. So Fightcade has been around for a little bit now, right? And it wasn't so accessible to the average person. You had to find the perfect ROM. You had to do a couple of things to get it running. So I did have it a while ago, and I played online, and it was demoralizing. Demoralizing to say the least when I jumped on. And I was like this, you know what? I think this ain't for me. But then when Kongs R Us did a update to show how easy it was to get the ROMs and how accessible it was, then the whole thing was like, why don't we bring a community to it where we know that it's a level playing field? Like, we know these individuals. We are going to be around the same skill level. We're not there to just destroy individuals. We're here to have fun. So that's what really, it's really a fun experience when you have people like-minded and same skill level or whatnot. You're going to get some people that are really nasty. But at least that they don't have an ace up their sleeve. You don't mind getting the pineapple if you know that they're playing legit, where there's some people on the other side of the globe pressing a button and doing a combination. That's not cool.
Exactly. And it's not really about the total devastation of your opponent by any means, and that is a beautiful thing. It should be about fun, and because after all, these are all games that a lot of us grew up on, and are these games are embedded into who we are as human beings. So for that, we should be able to come together as a community and enjoy each other as well as these games. And C Smart, what's up? He says, I just finished watching the OTG interview. Awesome job, Mr. Zod. And speaking of not holding back or not pulling any punches, Rainwater Games, what's up? Jeff says, ask Nick if he always wears sunglasses because he's high, ugly, or both. LOL. Well,
let me answer that question. It originally started when I saw the reflection of Rainwater's face. He used to be on my show, and he used to make me sick. So therefore, I put the glasses on, and now it works. No, actually, I'm very light sensitive, and these lights are bright to get a good picture. So
no, I sympathize. I mean, I never needed glasses in my whole life, and then I started having trouble with vision and started seeing, being able to see small print, and went to the eye doctor and found out that I needed glasses. So that was something that I never dealt with before, and I thought it was because I stay in an apartment that's poorly lit and I don't have enough light. So I went and got a bunch of lamps and lit the thing as best as I could, and I still couldn't see a darn thing. So I was like, you know what? Obviously, there's some issues here. I need glasses, and now I see everything in HD. So I'm fine. It's one of those things where, if you're sensitive to light, if you can't see anything, yeah. I mean, hey, I don't
These are even
blame you at all.
prescribed.
Okay.
These are not just regular glasses.
That's great.
So,
That's great, man.
Guy.
It looks cool. It looks cool, man. Just like that 80s song, man. I wear my sunglasses at night.
I wore this hat for you, bro. Illinois for you,
Chicago.
Bro.
Hey, there you go. Chicago Bulls. There you go. Awesome stuff. Rainwater Game says, okay. I had to heckle him a bit. That sounds like it's going to be a deep conversation. And we got the great Fighters Evolution, Fighters Evo in the chat. What's up?
My guy,
I'm here to watch and support my boy UAG. Yes, exactly. So it's great to see, it's great to see UAG get all this support. Again, I'm a big fan of UAG, OTG, console fanboy, all y'all. You guys are fantastic. And I couldn't be happier to be a part of this crew. You guys are amazing. And we got Mike here. He says, if it had an MVS, it might have been one upscale, fancy effing laundromat. Hello, everyone. Oh yeah. Okay, listen. I'm a big MVSX fan. I love that arcade. 50 games out of the box. And then, of course, the ability to modify it, thanks to the good people who worked on the Hilo hack. Those guys are amazing. Now you literally can play every Neo Geo game that was ever made for the Neo Geo on there in a nice fancy menu. And then you can also do, the Capcom Play system and play the Capcom games and a bunch of other arcade games and console games and stuff. It's really, really cool. What's your opinion on the MVSX? Do you have one, or are you just not?
I don't have one because I'm not a huge Neo Geo fan. But as soon as they came out with the Halo hack, I was like, it brought a little thing like, oh, now there's a lot more value built into that. So I love the fact that you have the ability to do that, to be quite honest with you. And it's a nice looking cabinet. It's a nice looking cabinet.
I will say this, and this is, ever since I, installed the hack, in my opinion, has a better UI. It has better navigation, and the games look better. Everything looks even nicer than it did originally when you buy it right out of the box. I actually think the UI for the Hilo hack is better than the UI that came out of the box with the MVSX. And one of the best things about the MVSX is that you can switch between that UI and the Hilo hack with no issues whatsoever. So you could choose either or if you, for example, if you're like Zohar and you decide to sell your MVSX and then later on get a new one, you can restore it back to original with no problem, literally with one click. It is so simple and easy. It is the easiest software mod I've ever seen. And the fact that it adds so much more value to the MVSX makes it my favorite retail offline cab to date. I don't think anything else has come out where they've made it as easy. Even, and we'll get into my feelings about At Games and yours as well. But even with the At Games Legends Ultimate, you still have to do a little bit of work to get the At Games, to get the most out of the At Games Legends Ultimate. But the At Games Legends Ultimate is still also, when you talk about bang for your buck, there really is no other cabinet that you would ever need for offline play. Let's just put it that.
Let me tell you something. You hit something on the head right there. In terms of the MVS and this one here, the community is awesome. If it wasn't for the community, these two machines, your machine, this machine, probably wouldn't be. It would be all right. It would be all right. But the community is what built them. Like, if it wasn't for CoinOps X and all the stuff that they've done for this, this I think would be dead in the water because the 350 games or 300 games, depending on what model you get, they're okay. They're not, nothing to write home about, and the Neo Geo. Again, if you're a super fan of that, you probably it still had a good bang for your buck. But being able to get that hack, man, the community is what makes these units awesome.
Absolutely.
Like Bobby freaking putting a control deck that makes the Big Blue awesome. So it's without the community, I feel like these units are incomplete.
I agree. I agree. There's so much value given there. And again, the ability always when you have the ability to add your own content to an arcade, that's really, really cool. And that's where kind of leads me into at games because with at games, it's not just about being able to, like Coin Ops X. I mean, you could connect a console to that, you could connect a PC to that and
You
have
got
all of these
everything.
options. I mean, I seen somebody on YouTube who created a cabinet part out of the bottom where the door actually opens, and he actually has the Dreamcast, the PlayStation 3, and I think he's got like a Sega Genesis down there. And he's got it all connected through a split OTG cable where he's able to have all of this stuff connected in addition to a PC and then, of course, he's got the little USBs for Coin Ops X that we all use through there. Now, I have the At Games Legends Gamer Pro, which is not the full, arcade like you have, but it's it's the deck, it's the two player, and you can connect, you can connect it to anything. Again, At Games is so versatile in terms of what you can do with it that for offline play, if there's nothing, if you just have room for one cabinet, and I always said this, if I had thought about, if I wasn't such a big Neo Geo fan, I probably would not have been part of the conversation because when they announced the MVSX, I pre-ordered immediately. I had to have one because I grew up going to Pizza Huts and different places where there was always a big red Neo Geo cab. So I have a certain level of nostalgia for Neo Geo that I don't have. They, for example, you don't have. So, but if I didn't, and Neo Geo was not, Neo Geo was no big thing to me, and I wasn't thinking about Neo Geo at all, I probably would have just got a Legends Ultimate and called it a day, and probably never bought another cab, unless I wanted to play online, which again, I'm not that great at Street Fighter. So I would never buy the Big Blue because Big Blue only comes with a certain amount of games. And I can get my butt kicked by the computer on Street Fighter. I don't need to go online and get my butt kicked by other people. So really to me, it kind of, when you try to put value on something, if you really want a cab that just does it all and gives you everything you want out of the box, for offline play with all these options, then that's really the best way to go. And you and I, we had a conversation offline. We were talking a little bit about cosmetics and the ability to spruce up your cabinet and make it look a little better than what. And you said you did some modifications to make yours look better. With some Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I got a bezel from my man Joe Sabos. I got a kick plate by Arcade Graphics and a control deck thing. So you can really make things your own. And to be honest with you, then you got these businesses that built because of the community. You got people doing modifications with like your control deck, all the artwork, everything. And then you go into these groups like that guy who did all that stuff with adding the shelves or being able to play the Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. They're not selfish with their information. They share. They want to share. They want everybody to enjoy it. So it's cool, man. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about the man that builds the control decks and the man that builds all these great custom systems for everybody. We're talking about none other than the great Bobby Vu. to
The
die
legend.
for himself, the living legend, the man that, in all honesty, if there was ever anybody that I would consider to be the angel or the god, like Console Fanboy likes to say, it's definitely Bobby Vu. He is a wonderful, wonderful giving person. He's caring, and he gives it all to the community, and he shares it all with us, and he would do anything for you. So
Dude, he got a
anytime,
big heart. He got the biggest
oh
heart
my God,
in
biggest
the community.
heart, period.
Just because, we was talking and stuff like that. He just sent me a damn computer with like 5,000 games on that bitch.
He did the same thing for me, and I was just gonna talk about that. I have that set up over here. I have how I have it set up. And try to see if I can adjust the camera a little bit here. You can see it slightly there. I got a little monitor connected with some speakers, and it's got all the games. It's a Batacera system, and I hooked up an Xbox One controller to it, and I got the PC itself connected behind the couch.
Okay.
So it's all set up so that it's all out of the way, and I could play. And I got it set up on a little shelf here that was on sale through Amazon that Bobby Vu posted about and said, guys, you got to get this table. It was a flash sale. You got to get this table. It's an excellent table, and it was perfect for what I wanted to do. And the speakers I'm using are the speakers that were recommended from Twisted Chris for the replacement speakers for the arcade 1-ups, because they are notorious for their crappy speakers in their arcades. And these speakers are fantastic. I mean, if you turn the speakers up all the way really, really loud, it'll shake the walls. You don't even need an amp or anything. So that's all thanks to Bobby Vu. And of course, Bobby Vu is the man who created my custom Mortal Kombat 1 arcade cabinet bar top that I will always be forever grateful. Bobby Vu is the hero of the community, if you ask me.
For sure.
He gets it all done. And Fighters Evo says, good people, good community, all about the positive energy. Speaking of positive energy, what's your favorite arcade game to play? Guilty pleasure that you've been playing on the Bobby Vu PC that you don't have in a cab, but you love playing. It's an arcade game.
I just got it today, so I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Today was Christmas. I got that, and I got my Steam Deck.
Oh, so no, yeah. Now, are you gonna install all that great stuff? You're gonna install the
So I'm gonna try to keep it to Steam, and possibly when I work it out, try to get it to do some emulation on it. I heard that it's a beast for that, so definitely going to do that.
Oh yeah,
eventually.
I've been watching all the videos on the Steam Deck, and it's so exciting. I mean, they got so much going on out here, and we got my girl, my good friend, the great, beautiful, and wonderful Rhea with the $25 super chat saying,
boom,
here to support Zod and UAG, pow pow. And then Rhea says, hit that like button. Yes, thank you, Rhea, much appreciated. This is really this is a wonderful community, and you just appeared with OTG not too long ago on Rhea's Glimmercast. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to Rhea, definitely do so. Rhea is a wonderful content creator. She does a lot of diverse stuff, like definitely.
For sure.
I mean, you talk about 1 week she'll be talking about like the worst movies ever made, and then the next week she'll be talking about home arcades and consoles, and I mean, she's just you talk about positive vibes and positive energy going back to Fighters Evo over here when he talks about the community. It doesn't really get much more positive than Rhea, and I will say that 100% for sure. And we've got the Bat channel here. Brother Zod, smash that like button and subscribe to my man Zod. He's the real deal. And Mike here says, I skipped the MVSX. It released after I had invested in an original MVS hardware and 42 arcade PCBs carts for it. Yeah, I don't blame you. you invested that much money, then you did the right thing. You didn't really need to get the MVSX. He says, I got a legal coin door on my MVS. That's cool. See, now me, I could never, growing up, I could never afford anything Neo Geo. The only thing Neo Geo I could afford was to play it on the arcade machines.
And that's for console fanboy because he's teasing
the Steam
me.
Deck. Are you gonna what are you most looking forward to on the Steam Deck?
So I wanna play King of Fighters on there and see how smooth it runs. If it runs at 60 frames per second, and how much I can push it. That's my ultimate goal to try something like that. But I'm probably gonna be more excited because we're back in the office now, so that's gonna be my toy while I'm at work and probably jumping on a couple of pinball.
That's a great toy. That's a great toy to have, though, bro. I mean, to be honest with you,
man, the difference between the man and the boy is the price of their toys.
Amen.
So I'm enjoying my toy.
Amen to that. And Console Fanboy says, I love the MVSX, but it's hard to have another multi-cab when you have the ultimate multi-cab already. And yes, I know what you're talking about, Console Fanboy. Again, another shout out to the God, the angel of the home arcade community himself, Mr. Bobby Vu, to die for. And again, the MVSX, I primarily play it just simply for the Neo Geo library, just simply because I love all the Neo Geo games. So that's one of it's my go-to when I want to play it, and it just feels, playing it on that cabinet brings back all that nostalgia, brings back all those memories.
I got a question for you because it's odd how our minds work, right? Like I can play Street Fighter on a number of ways, on my PC, on my Raspberry Pi, on the Legends Ultimate, but it just feels better playing it on the Big Blue, and vice versa. Like if I want to play Pac-Man, I have a Miss Pac-Man, a party cade on the wall, so I play with that. And again, it's just like it feels like you're going to that particular machine because of the artwork or whatever the layout that it has. You just want it just feels good playing on that. And
this is the thing that gets me, UAG. The whole concept, for example, me, and I'm sure Console Fanboy, I'm sure you could relate to this too, being as big of Mortal Kombat fans as we are. Okay, I have 2 cabinets that are variants on the Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet. I have a plain minimal arcade cabinet, which is a mini replica, half-scale replica of the original Mortal Kombat arcade machine with the Johnny Cage artwork, of course. And then the one that To Die For, Bobby Vu built for me, has the authentic Johnny Cage artwork. And to me, there's nothing better than playing Mortal Kombat on one of those cabinets, because of the authenticity of it, because of, again, the Johnny Cage artwork. If Mortal Kombat 1 is your game, then you're going to have a special emotional connection to playing those games on an authentic looking cabinet, or at least a cabinet that resembles authenticity in some way. So my question for you is, and I want you to answer this as honestly as you can.
Okay. I'm always honest.
I know you are. That's why I said
I'm just
that, because I know you're honest and authentic. That's
it gets me in trouble. It gets me in trouble.
You and I have the same problem. Here's the thing. This whole debate between Arcade 1-Up and iArcade putting out like the same titles, and what I'm talking about specifically is, number 1, I'm talking about Dragon's Lair. And number 2, I'm talking about, it was announced today that the rumor is that Arcade 1-Up is no longer going to produce a Double Dragon arcade cabinet. Reason being, because iArcade is now putting out a Double Dragon cabinet with the marquee and everything, the whole 9 yards, a beautiful double dragon artwork. My question to you is, how important is it for you to be able to play a game, play a classic arcade game like Dragon's Lair or Double Dragon on an authentic or more authentic looking cab? Or does it really matter to you? Is it more about just being able to play it on an arcade? Because for me, I have an iArcade. I love the iArcade. I'm happy with the fact that they're releasing more games that appeal to me, and they will be going online with some more great games starting tomorrow. Can't wait to play Breaker's Revenge online, Mike, by the way. But for me, a game like Dragon's Lair is not one of my all-time favorite arcade games. So I don't feel the need to have it be an authentic cabinet. But for Mortal Kombat, I want it to be as authentic as possible. So if I don't really want to buy a Mortal Kombat cabinet and play a Mortal Kombat online without the Johnny Cage side art. But for Dragon's Lair, I'm more than happy to play it on the iArcade because I feel like they give you an authentic enough experience. It doesn't have to be necessarily shaped like the Dragon's Lair cabinet or even replicate Dragon's Lair. I can still get enjoyment out of it. And it's one of the pack-in titles with the iArcade. So how do you feel about that? Where do you fall in this debate?
I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna ask you a question after that because this is gonna be fun. Now, it really is a twofold. Like if you have nostalgia for that particular title, right, and you have a passion for it, you're gonna want it to be authentic. It's just because you're buying into the nostalgia, not necessarily the gameplay, in a sense.
Very true.
So you looking at it, and it's like a work of art, in a sense. But now, also, it's how deep is your pockets, right? If you have deep pockets, you're not concerned about buying a cabinet that only is going to have 3 games, right? You like, I can buy whatever I want. I'm happy with this. This is what I want, and boom. If you are, strapped for cash, and this is going to be your be all, your one machine that you're going to get, you're going to probably lean towards a multicade because it's going to have more bang for your buck and whatnot. Like for me personally, I have nothing. I don't care about Dragon's Lair. So I would probably go with iArcade because I know I'm going to get more bang for my buck. It's gonna look, nice. The artwork on it is beautiful. No one can deny that. So it's that. So like, for example, you can get, Mortal Kombat that, artwork is gorgeous, but it doesn't have blood on it. Would you get it?
The Mortal Kombat that doesn't have blood on it?
No, it doesn't have blood. Like it like it's like the Super Nintendo version that's sweat instead of blood. I mean, you're getting
because I lived through that as a kid and had the Super Nintendo version on Mortal Monday when it came out. And I have no desire to play it without the blood, with it just having the sweat. No,
right? So I mean, it's something about authenticity. So like when you're playing Dragon's Lair on a iArcade, it's a decent experience. It's a good experience. Some people love it.
Well, I mean, there's some people with those buttons and sticks, though, man. The iArcade,
the quality is by far superior. No one can deny that. No one could deny that. But there's something. It goes to something to say when you remember playing in the arcade and you looking up and you see that alphanumeric scoreboard, or you see someone else looking at you on top and stuff like that. It says something. Now, again, that's probably for a super fan. The average fan is probably good enough. Is probably good enough for them. That's why it's good, beautiful time today. You have options. No one says, "Oh, you have to go get that." It's your dollar. Do what you will. Do what you will. Don't listen to just one YouTuber or one review. listen to multiple reviews till you feel comfortable with where your money is going. Because
I
at the end
agree.
of the day, it's about gaming. It's not
That's right.
what company you go with. Like, who cares? Who
We
cares at the end
we
of the day?
support them. We support them all. That's the thing, UAG. We support all these companies. I mean, I'm sitting here. I've got something from every company in my apartment, so I can't. I can't say that I support one over the other because I do. I support them all. I mean, it's like to me though. I just feel like even if I was a super fan of Dragon's Lair, because iArcade gives you the superior buttons and sticks right out of the box, gives you that 19-inch monitor, and it comes with Dragon's Lair and it has all these other games and then allows you to buy more games for it if you wish. I just feel like it's just a better value, period. And you can get Dragon's Lair artwork if you want Dragon's Lair artwork for the cabinet. So I'm
It's
kind of
probably better. It's probably better value to get yourself a Prius, but there's people who want to, a Mercedes. So it's just the way it is. Like for example, I can play every game I could possibly want on Fightcade.
Sure.
Online, free.
That's very
but
true.
I love Mortal Kombat so much that I know when they drop that 30th, I'm gonna get it because it's gonna look gorgeous. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna look at it. It's gonna take me back to when I was in that pizza shop or when I was in that freaking the pool alley, the pool hall in Brooklyn, and the sticky floor and dark and grimy. I want to remember that. It
Smell
takes you
of
back.
gum, cotton candy, pizza, and beer, all mangled together. And that's the thing too. I'm sitting here saying the same thing. We're talking at this point about authenticity, and the reality is, yeah, I'm right there with you because I'm a super Mortal Kombat fan. So I'm thinking the same thing. Even though I got the Mortal Kombat 2 Countercade and I can play the games through one up with the Mortal Kombat 2 artwork, when they released that 30th anniversary, you can play online. Everybody's got to play with the same crappy buttons and sticks unless we keep Bobby Voo busy with the control decks.
And on top of that, at least the skill level will be a little, there's going to be the great ones, but it's going to be more to a regular casual player.
Whereas
the
Wars
killers
is going to be fantastic.
The killers are going to be on Fightcade. So, unless you bring your own party, playing them killers online, they're no joke. They're no joke.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I think, and you're not, and the thing is, if you're buying that, and now here's my question to you: when you get the 30th anniversary Mortal Kombat cabinet, are you going to mod it, or are you just going to play it the way it is?
To be honest with you, I'm probably going to get the sticks from Bobby, but that's pretty much it. I mean, like, there's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing you can do. Like, but I can tell you this: out of all the fighting games, that game in particular, I think it's easier to play with the sticks because it's not quarter circle; it's forward, down, forward, back. So, it seems like it plays better with these shitty sticks. They are shitty. Let's not lie.
Yeah, we're not gonna lie about that. We're not. I've never, and this is one thing I've always appreciated about you. When you do your arcade 1-up reviews, you don't, at no point have you ever tried to convince anybody that the arcade 1-up buttons, you may like an arcade 1-up, but at no point in any of your videos have you ever tried to convince anybody that arcade 1-up buttons and sticks are anything more than just average buttons and sticks. And I really appreciate that because I've actually heard people, some high profile YouTubers, actually say things like, well, it looks like they stepped it up this time on the buttons and sticks. And I'm like, no, Michael B, They didn't change the buttons and sticks. These are the same buttons and sticks that come with every single arcade one-up, every single one, from the Countercades up to the Killer Instinct. It's the same buttons and sticks. You're not getting anything different. So stop trying to fool yourself. And when people are honest like that, honest like you, honest like Retro Ralph, honest like all these great people out there on YouTube that are not lying to anybody, it feels good. And you can trust that honesty. And I can know when I go to your average gamer for an opinion, I know I'm getting your legit feelings on something, and I know you're going to tell me the truth, and I really appreciate that.
I feel like you'll be doing a disservice to the community, and that's not cool. Like I'll tell you, for example, when I did the Simpsons review, I was like, dude, I'll tell you right now, this is not going to be for everybody. If you are a super fan of the Simpsons, this is a must-have. If
Well,
you're not,
here's something I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now that might blow your mind. I have the Simpsons on the MVSX, on the Neo Geo MVSX, and guess what? The Simpsons emulates and plays better on the Neo Geo MVSX than it does on the actual arcade one-up Simpsons cabinet. That is no lie. And I'm going to tell you right now that's kind of an issue that I have with that Simpsons cabinet. That's another reason why I would never get it. Now I've seen that there are people out there that are. I actually did get a chance to play it. It was on display at a local Walmart, and I got a chance to play the Simpsons. And this is the thing: there are people that are actually getting deals at Walmart for $199, I think, or $150. And to me, given the fact that I can play Simpsons on the MVSX better than I think it emulates on the arcade one-up, I wouldn't get it even if I could get it at that kind of a discount. Because I think that they didn't do their homework, they didn't do it right, and there's some things that they messed up on that they would need to change, because I don't feel like the value is there. If you're paying $80 for it, or you're paying $700 for it, you got to put the work into it. And to me,
my issue with that cabinet, like I like the beat 'em up. Once you beat 'em up, like what else is there to do? Like you're not gonna keep on playing the same beat 'em up. I'm sorry. So the replay value on that wasn't high for me on that. But the bowling I thought was I liked it a lot, but I wish it was online. So if it was online, then you have more replay value there. Like, I know like nobody in my house cares about these damn machines. It's just me. So if people were, to come in the room and play it, then maybe. But I really think that it needed to have online capabilities to really give me that value.
I see you there, Kongs R Us, and I will answer your question. I see what you're asking me, but I do want to address here this question here, and I'm gonna do this, and then I'm going to scroll down and answer Kongs R Us here. Jan wants to know, ZodWriter, you interviewed OTG and UAG. When are you completing the trifecta and interviewing Turbo Joe? Stay tuned. Okay, that's all I have to tell you. Stay tuned, because it is definitely my goal to have Turbo Joe on as well, because he would be another one I would love to talk to. Again, got to get the three amigos. It was a goal of mine initially. So I'm telling you right now that will be worked out, and it will happen eventually. I can tell you. And this is kind of like how I envisioned it. I'll get OTG, I'll get UAG, and then at some point I'll get Turbo Joe. But rest assured, it will happen. Definitely. Console Fanboy says Neo Geo is up there with Sex and Pizza. Console Fanboy, I completely agree. And Jan wants to know, what's your favorite console and game of all time, and why, UAG?
The Dreamcast, the most underrated console of all time. And in terms of the game, you'll be surprised because it's not a regular. It's the first um NFL 2K that they had on there.
That was a fun game on Dreamcast. I remember the first time I
20
played that.
bucks.
Yeah. I played it with my cousin on Thanksgiving the one year, and it was a lot of fun. The very first NFL 2K.
That was the first time that you was able to do one-handed catches, do a spin move, and then you had the authenticity of the gameplay because you had ESPN involved, and it really it was ahead of its time to say the least.
And Rhea wants to know, I want to hear speculation on the new games being added to the iArcade.
Well, first of all, they did a move where they're postponing information. So I don't know. I was saying on a my podcast the other day, our podcast, that I wouldn't be surprised if it was a shooting game and it was Operation Wolf. They have a relationship with Tato. Tato is a bit of a whore in the industry. They will give that license out to a lot of people.
And
So
iArcade will come out with gun peripherals. I'm telling you.
right, and if they have
I'm
that,
telling you.
they already have a relationship with Glenn from Glenn's Retro Show. Glenn's Retro Show just locked down having Sindit technology under them. So if you could get a Sindit gun on there with playing Operation Wolf and you're playing it authentic, you're not playing it with a trackball like you would have to do on a ALU. That's where it's at. People want to have that authenticity, that feel. So that could be really awesome.
I gotta say, speaking of like a Sindin gun game and possibility of Operation Wolf on the iArcade is phenomenal. I feel bad for everybody that bought Terminator 2 because once Operation Wolf and Sindin guns start coming out for iArcade, it's game over for real.
That can really change the game. That could really put them in a different lane because there's gun games with Arcade One Up. You got Big Buck Hunter, but if you're not a Big Hunter fan, you're probably not gonna like it. And then you have
do you have
Terminator.
Big Buck Hunter?
Nah.
Did you get Terminator?
Nope.
I'm
not paying for one game.
I with you.
I'm not paying for one. Now, listen, it's a cool game, but you got to tell me, I'm not playing it that way. Like if I was gonna get it, it was gonna be legit on the cabinet, and I can understand the limitations. You have to do what you have to do, but I can
licensing
control my money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna spend my money on guns that are not stationary and one game. That was a big pill to swallow. $700 for one game.
Yeah, no thank you.
You have to do what you got to do because Gene Cameron wants his money, right? And Arnold Schwarzenegger wants his money, and Midway wants their money. That's a lot of pots to fill, so they had to spend $700. So I'm sure I'm happy for the people who got it, but it wasn't gonna be me.
Yeah, my joke with that has always been, I'll wait for the Countercade. I mean,
they'll do it.
I mean, it's one game, and you're gonna have these little mini squirt guns shooting at the Countercade. Let's see. And what's up, Sharon Peters? She says, "Hey, girlfriends, always a pleasure to have Sharon Peters in the chat." And Jan wants to know here, Sharon Peters, when are you going to be a guest on the show? It will be the highest view ever. And then my good friend Jason from the Third Floor Arcade. Jason is another guy I've been dying to talk to. So we're going to have to make this happen, Jason. I'm going to have you on for a late night Q&A because you are awesome. And your presentation of how you arrange all your arcade one-ups and all the arcades that you have is second to none. It looks like, it literally looks like a showroom. It looks like a showroom.
He has to change the name. It's going to have to be the fourth floor. He had to have built another floor. Because there's no space there, bro. I know.
I would agree. And he says, ZodWriter for president. Hey, thank you for the endorsement. With people like you endorsing me, man, who knows? Maybe it could happen. And Mike says that Rhea has quickly become one of my favorites. Oh yeah, Rhea is amazing. I mean, Rhea just knocks it out of the park every single show. I love the Glimmer cast. Oh my god. Console Fanboy says, Rhea, I'm Rhea single. I'm 6 foot. I have blue eyes. I have a doctorate degree, but I'm an idiot. Okay. Well, hey, you got to count on Console Fanboy to sell himself. Console Fanboy, don't sell yourself short, man. You are a very talented individual, and you
That
can
is true.
sing too, and you put out some fantastic music for the home arcade community as well. Always, always. Every song he puts out, I'm like, my God, it's one masterpiece after another. Like every song is relevant, and it's like this is how I know that I belong in this community, because every song that he puts out, like I know everything he's talking about. I'm like, yep. It's just it's
The
perfect.
thing about it is that, so I'll ask him. I'm like, yo, can you do something for me? Blah 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 blah. He literally is like 2 days later, a day later. Like the ability to do that in such a short period of time and it sounds so masterful, it's crazy, man. That's a talent in itself. Like that's super uber talented, bro.
And Sharon Peters says, no, I don't think people would watch. I don't know, Sharon. I think people would watch a late night Q&A if you came on here. And if you came on here, it would be awesome, because you're funny and you bring a lot of great levity to these chats. I, for one, am very, very happy that you're here. And that's why I modded you, so that I know when you come in here, because we got a lot of imitators and a lot of people who pretend to be people that they aren't. So I modded you just so that I knew for sure that it was you, the real authentic Sharon Peters. And Kongs R Us says, is this a new show featuring top tier trash? I mean, how to beat UAG in games? I don't. Is Kongs R Us throwing shade? I don't know.
I believe he is, but that's okay. Kongs R Us. I still love you. You're a reject, but I love you.
And speaking of Kongs R Us down here asked a question. He said, and I promised I would get to it, Kongs. So if you're still in the chat, Kongs R Us said, Hilo Hack doesn't have Simpsons though. How are you playing it on the MVS-X? Actually, it does. There's another image that was released that has a bunch of arcade games that are non Neo Geo or Capcom games. They're Konami and other companies, and one of the games included is The Simpsons. So if you look around, you will find it, and you can play The Simpsons. And it's also not very difficult to actually add different arcade games to the MVSX using the system that they set up. You can actually bring your own games, a lot like how
Okay.
you can. So as long as you understand the
Folder
setup
system.
of how they do it, their ecosystem of how you do it, you can actually plug the USB stick into your PC, and you can manipulate a few menus, and you can add your own games. And one of the games that you can add that will emulate perfectly is The Simpsons. And there are no glitches whatsoever. It is fantastic. So I just wanted to mention that. And let's see what else we have here. I mean, you guys in the chat tonight, you guys are amazing. You guys are asking all the right questions. It's buzzing tonight. And I got to ask, what did you think of the announcement of what was released today? We also had another announcement, UAG. We had the arcade 1-up announced the Collectorcade.
Well, let's rephrase that. It was an announcement. Is that we, as a bunch of YouTubers, we got to find content, right? So we was hunting, and a couple of people came across it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm labeled an Arcade 1-up fanboy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That shit is whack. Whack.
I have to agree with you 100%.
It's hard. Okay, for first of all, there's already an established, players in the game there, and they do excellent work. New Wave Toys, Replicate, they do excellent work on those collector case, right? But I got to be honest with you, it doesn't look like the quality is up there. And then the dagger, the real dagger, is having it be console ROMs and not arcade ROMs. Like
Yeah,
at that point, you're buying it just for the looks. And if the looks are not there, then why are you buying it?
it's sad. It's sad to me. I when I saw, you want to know what I actually thought? I made a prediction what I thought the collector cades were actually going to be. I thought they were going to be like because that gaming room solutions,
Mhm.
aka Arcade Mod Up, came out with a 30th anniversary Mortal Kombat arcade. And it has the Johnny Cage side artwork. It's really cute. It's a nice arcade. I had it for a while. I did what I wanted with it, and then I gifted it to a friend of mine. But it's nice. It's about 2 feet tall, and it has all the, it has like a 10-inch screen, and I switched out the speakers with the ones that Twisted Chris recommended, because Arcade Mod Up has crappy speakers just like Arcade One Up. And the and it has like thousands of games on it. It was really cool. And so basically, though, I thought that this was going to be Arcade One Up's competition to that. I thought it was going to be like a mini version, but not as small as a Countercade, but not quite as big, almost maybe half scale. That's what I thought we were looking at, like a half
I thought it
scale,
was gonna be this. I
more
thought
of
it
a
was gonna be
replica.
that,
Really? You
but
thought it was going to be this little like
yeah,
piggy bank
because
style?
the reason why, I not the quality. I thought it was gonna look more like New Wave's Toys version or Numbskull's version of it, like like a real, one six, 1/8 scale of an arcade. But it's more like the My Arcade, the cheap one that you get in Walgreens, right? Probably a little bit bigger. But and
I have a Galaga one like that where it's a little Galaga, but you can turn it on and it you can actually play it, but the controls are super tiny and it's
the sad thing is it's probably going to sell well because it's going to be like in a Walmart in the front by the registers to get those impulse buys. It probably will sell well, but it's not anything that I don't think anybody that's in the hobby is going to really want.
they actually released a Mortal Kombat like that a couple years ago though. That had the Sega, it was a little mini version and it had the Sega Genesis port of the game on there already.
Mhm.
And it's a little tiny, you could still buy it on eBay for about 30 bucks. It's a little tiny, it fits on your desktop. It's just a real small,
Mm.
and it has little controls and you can actually play it. And it's got like Mortal Kombat artwork on the side, but it doesn't have Johnny Cage, of course. But it's essentially what Arcade One Up is doing, except the Arcade One Up version looks like the Mortal Kombat 2
Mhm.
arcade, and it looks like it's going to have.
I
Wait a
think it's
minute!
an
I don't
epic
even think it's
fail.
going to have Mortal Kombat. It's not. It's not even
It
going to
doesn't
have
have
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat
One
1.
on it.
It has
The
2,
Genesis versions of 2,
3.
3, and Ultimate,
Yeah. So
which
it's an epic fail to me.
it is an
It's an
epic
epic
fail.
fail.
I'll never buy it. And I'll tell you another thing from Arcade One Up. I would never get those damn couchcades. My God, man, you talk about milking the consumer. I mean, give me a break,
Now,
dude. Like,
Zod,
bro,
I gotta tell you
bro.
this. I gotta tell you this. You're gonna hate me for this, but my problem is that I'm business economic major. I think a lot of way
Okay.
a business would think
Yeah.
about it. And in terms of Arcade One Up, it's probably a real smart move. I'm gonna tell you why. Their plan is to try to get you at every price point, right? To get all the consumers. And this is not for you. This is not for me. This is probably for your grandma or your mother that
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna be sitting on the
my
couch,
mom was a
plug it,
Pac-Man ace back in the day.
and
So
just boom, boom, boom. Like my dad. This is for my dad that he's gonna be sitting 100 feet away from this big ass screen television playing. That's what it is. So this is gonna be selling on QVC, on HSN, all those home shopping network channels, and do it. For us, it's not for us. And so they're just trying to figure out how to get into your home.
Well, it's like I like those. It's like those baby cades. I'm sure those didn't sell very well. Those little baby arcades that like people, nobody, kids don't like that kind of stuff nowadays. It's from a business perspective, it just seems like now they've gotten to the point where they're just throwing anything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
And it is because we had the whatchamacallit, the projectorcade that failed. You had the babycade that didn't do so well. They're going to try as many things as possible, see what goes. Like that mini console thing, that didn't work. So what did they do? They took that mini console, they threw some extra control panels that they probably had laying around, and they made a whole new other product. And now we have Couchcade.
Mm. And Reyes says UAG nearly sold me on the Legends Ultimate. Well, yeah, if you just want one where you can play everything and you want it offline, and you only want to play offline and not really.
This is the one. Like I told you, she's an ugly chick, but this chick does some things that other girls won't do.
Mm-hmm. And welcome to Die says at trash. OTG, isn't it ass games? And Reyes laughing about ass games. Look, it's not. At games has come a long way, and I will admit, like I said, I absolutely think that the Legends Ultimate is a fantastic idea. If you only have room for one arcade and you're not really into all that online play or whatever, you're in good shape if you get that.
Now, if we was talking about the Sega Genesis Mini that they made, trash. If we was talking about their Legends gamepad that they came out recently, trash. If we was talking about just the Game of Core, or I'm not happy with it. But if we're talking about the actual unit, or a Gamer Pro or a Gamer Mini, and you could do what you want with it, they don't get no better. It's gaming for dummies.
Mm-hmm. The new Collectorcades are adorable. They are adorable, but that doesn't mean that they're going to sell a lot of them. Although, again, like UAG just said, if you put them in the front of the store at Walmart, they'll probably sell because they'll be cheap enough where Walmart can mark them down to $19.99. They're going to mark them down eventually. $19.99, and you can buy them at the checkout.
There'll be some stocking stuffers eventually.
Yeah, they're small enough to stick in your stockings too. In fact, I don't know why Arcade 1-Up just didn't go the full piggy bank route and make them piggy banks where you can put quarters and little change, chump change in the back of them. That's what they should have did.
That could have been that could have been a cool idea if you put it for like a coin slot, but it really is a piggy bank.
Piggy bank.
That would be kind of cool.
I don't know why they didn't do that. They made them small enough. They made them small enough, and they made and honestly, it's got the Sega Genesis versions of these games on it, so it's not even the arcade ROMs. So that's I mean, you're not gonna sell them. They are going to be marked down for $19.99. I'm telling you, you're going to see them on the way out at Walmart in the checkout.
Another product that they made that failed were the big arcade sticks. I did a review for the oversized Atari stick. That was trash.
Oh my god, the big Pac-Man joystick thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing looked like a.
We could thank Retro Ralph for that because he was getting head from it in E3, and because of that, CES. Because of that, they changed the design and it looked crazy. But the Atari one actually looks cool, but the games suck. The games suck, and it felt like it was Dollar Tree plastic.
And here's the truth about the Collectorcade is like a My Arcade Pro, but some of the My Arcades actually have arcade ROMs. So it's not even as good as those. Exactly. Like the Galaga one that I have is great. It actually looks like a Galaga arcade cabinet, and it plays the arcade ROM, and the stick actually works. And I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with these Collectorcades, but they won't. They're not selling me on it. I looked at them like, listen,
I don't think they're going to sell.
You're better off buying a Countercade. because at least the Countercade has the authentic arcade ramen. You can get the Countercade pretty cheap now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then we got Console Fanboy selling himself again. He says, "Hey, Dolores, I like long walks on the beach, pizza from Mulberry Pizza, and I have 17 songs on Spotify. Hi, I love your introductions, Console Fanboy. I could do a whole video where I just read your introductions. I wonder if Joe will buy these. Well, I don't know. You tell me. You think
I
Turbo
think he
Joe
will.
is going to buy
I think he will because he likes the shitty ass My Arcades. So he'll probably like this. It's a little bit bigger. You know, I think he will buy it. Actually,
you know who I think is gonna buy it for sure. Who's gonna buy every single one? One that they come out with, no matter what. You know who I think is gonna buy it? Is gonna think it's cool. It's gonna have a desk full of them.
But he said, wait a minute. He did a before you say that. He did a video that said it was shitty. He said it was shitty.
He's still gonna buy them. Listen. This is the guy who invents imaginary friends to borrow cabinets from, so that he can justify putting them in his collection.
Oh man!
I don't get it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I mean, he invented this additional person. Also, I called him up and we worked out a trade deal, and now Killer Instinct is a permanent place in my home arcade. And it's like, dude, just stop, okay? We would have more respect for you if you just admitted that you went out and bought the cabinet. You don't have to lie. Nobody cares.
Sometimes me and OTG has bets on you think you're gonna buy that guy? No? And then OTG like, nah, he ain't gonna buy it. I'm like, you gonna buy it.
Again, UAG. The thing about you that I've always liked and I've always appreciated, like I said, is your honesty. Me and you are a lot like that, where we're honest. We just say how we feel. We just tell it like it is. And that's why that's where you get all the haters from, because people don't like it when you tell the truth.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you that my wife said there was this one of her friends came and she had a baby, and I'm telling you, I didn't say it, but my eye said it, and she said, "You can't say those things. You can't do that." I'm like, listen, she knows that baby is not a pretty baby. She got eyes, and it's not my fault. I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
It's unfortunate that you have a baby that you cannot put back. There are some people that unfortunately have that, but hey, what can you do? But you were honest about it, so that's the truth. Dolores says here, just a matter of time before the Countercades, or the Collectorcades, excuse me, I have Countercade on the brain now, are marked down at Dollar General. That's another place I expect to see these things, like in the little bin at Dollar General.
They're gonna be. They're
gonna be Big Lots and all these little department stores, Ross. You'll probably be able to even buy them at the grocery store right at the front when you come in, and because they don't showcase like DVDs and Blu-rays and movies anymore, so they'll put these little Collectorcades there.
I was depressed about that. Do you remember when you used to be able to walk into a Best Buy and walk down the DVD aisle and see what's new stuff? Dude, I went into this Best Buy. First of all, I saw a tumbleweed pass by me and went, so what was that? And then it was like an end cap, and the end cap had nothing but the latest movies. So it was like maybe like 10 movies.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's all they had.
Yeah, I miss those days too, where you used to be able to actually browse when you went to Best Buy. They had a nice section. And you could, even if it was, and wouldn't always be the newest stuff either. It'd be a nice, robust collection of classic stuff. Not anymore. If it doesn't make them money within the first week, this is what I found out from a manager who works at Best Buy. If it doesn't make them money within the first week of them putting it out as a new release, it's gone, and they make room for
physical media is dead, is dying. It's a dying thing.
Pretty much. Maybe this is why we're so in love with these arcades because they're physical and we can touch them and we can hit the buttons and we can stare at them like, again, like longing pieces of art. Whereas we used to be able to do that with our movie collections. And now, if we don't order the movies online, we're not going to get them physically anymore. So
I bought the latest Marvel Spider-Man
yeah,
Far From Home, No Way Home,
yeah,
and
great
because
movie.
great movie. I love Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, so I bought it, and because I just have to have all the Spider-Mans. I don't know why, but I have to. And I thought about it, like I couldn't watch it in my living room. I couldn't watch the only place I could watch it is right in here on my PS5. I'm like, Dad, there's basically I bought this just to look at because I can't even play it.
You can't play it on the PS5?
No, I can play it on the PS5, but this is not the room that I would choose to watch it on if I could.
All right. You got a Blu-ray player in another room?
This is the only room.
Oh, okay.
Because of the consoles. Because what else? I don't even know who has a DVD player, bro.
Yeah, nowadays it's like, hey, you might have something. I've got an old Blu-ray player that's all scratched up and looks like it's been through like 2 wars and it still works, but I don't use it very much. Most everything that I watch now is digital, so it's not really a big deal. And the movies and stuff that I do have a shelf, I have a nice shelf behind me where I do have some old stuff that you'd never be able to find anywhere else anymore. But the thing is that when that feeling of being able to take a movie out, put it in the machine, and sit back and watch it, and actually have to, there's going to be nostalgia for that too at some point. I mean, come on. Yeah, this is the best line that we hear a lot from certain YouTubers. I bought this so you don't have to. Thank you, OTG, because that's another line. No, dude, you bought it because you're a shill and you buy everything. If you didn't
wait a minute. I said that. I was, you know what? I said that for the target. I said I did this for the community. I'm a sucker, and I bought it.
No.
And that was, and I had to return it. That's how bad it was.
UAG though. Here's the thing: when you say stuff like that, you're being honest because you're buying it like that you don't expect it to be anything. You expect it to be crap. But when certain other people say it, I've noticed there's no validity to it because they buy everything anyway. So I've seen that, and I love that. Thank you.
Well, you're trying to give reason behind it. Like it's like you tell your wife, "Oh, this is the last one." You know it's not the last one. You know it's not the last one. Or you tell her, "Oh, this I'm just doing this for the channel. I'm just doing this because of that." So you have to reason yourself. You have to give yourself reason behind. So that's it.
So you have to kind of justify it to yourself no matter what. It's a form of justification sometimes. I mean, here's the thing. I never was the world's biggest Killer Instinct fan, okay? But when I started playing Killer Instinct through emulation because everybody in the home arcade community was buying these $700 Killer Instinct arcade machines. So I'm like, I want to see what the fuss is all about. And I want to try to get good at this game. And now, lo and behold, I'm pretty good at Killer Instinct now because I've been playing it. Not because I was really a fan, but because
you want to know what the hype was about.
I wanted to know what the hype was about and why anybody would spend $700 on a Killer Instinct cabinet. And after playing the game and getting a little bit good at it, I still don't know why anybody's buying a $700 cabinet. Well, I still say to myself, I'll buy the Countercade when it comes out, like I did for T2. I'm like, I'll get the Countercade, and then I talked to Bobby Vu and said, listen, Bobby, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what how long I gotta wait. It could be 3 years, doesn't matter. But when you get a chance, can you build me a Killer Instinct Countercade? And he said, don't worry. He's like, don't worry, I got you. So I'm just gonna wait for Bobby because he's gonna build me a Killer Instinct Countercade or bar top, whatever,
and it'll be better than what
and it'll be better
anything
than
else.
1UP put out.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy a 1UP. It's just not. It's just not necessary. And I still don't understand. Like when I saw you and OTG playing Killer Instinct on the Xbox, I thought that's what everybody should have been doing. Everybody was crying about spectator mode. Oh, spectator. They were all crying like little babies over that. But they could just play it on Xbox. Then you could, it's no big deal. I mean, what's the problem? You have better controls if you play it on Xbox anyway.
But for me, like that I never had a huge nostalgia for it. The only thing that I remember is the killer awesome soundtrack, and so I wasn't paying $700 for it. I say, if it a good clearance, if it comes on clearance or something, maybe. But
yeah,
you gotta have love for that.
So you don't have Killer Instinct. You don't have.
Nope, and I have no desire for it.
No, me either. I don't either. To be honest with you, again, it's the same buttons and sticks, Michael B. So when you say that the buttons and sticks are a slight upgrade from previous buttons and sticks, you're being dishonest because it's not an upgrade at all. What? The color, maybe. The color of the buttons and sticks, but the texture of the buttons and sticks are the same as all the other arcade 1UPs. Please stop doing that. Stop saying that because that again, UAG. I'll never. I know. As long as you're on YouTube and you're reviewing these cabs, you will never in your life say anything like that. You're not gonna lie and say these sticks are a slight upgrade from previous. Like on The Simpsons, oh, these sticks feel better than any other 1UP. No, they don't. You're not going to say that. Who says these things? I just okay. The baby cage did shockingly well with males 40 plus. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I could see a certain YouTuber justifying baby cages as well. Those baby cades were an abortion. I agree. I agree 100%. And we'll throw in a little bit of Rhea there with the Kmart exclusive. Listen, I think they sold 12 baby cades total, and Michael B bought all of them. They're not called baby cades. They're called Countercades XL.
You don't be surprised if they'll rebrand it. They could rebrand it and they'll make some moves.
Countercade XL. Bro, NBA Jam Countercade XL.
I mean, listen.
You got who's the shortest NBA player who ever lived?
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues?
Yep.
Muggsy Bogues. The Muggsy Bogues arcade 1UP Countercade XL. There you go. NBA Jam.
Muggsy, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Arcade 1UP. I just gave you an idea. Thank me later. Oh, that is so awesome. I love it. I'm just amazed at all the stuff they're doing. And like you said, it's about rebranding too. Like if something doesn't work, they're not going to scrap the design. They'll just figure out a way to.
You got to believe that those what you call it, couch cades were probably decks from the projector cade
generation 1.
Yeah, it could be either or one of those, and then you definitely know that the console part was the mini consoles they had. So they had a lot of those.
Oh yeah, because that didn't work out very well. So they had to use that technology. So they juxtaposed it and repurposed it so that they could use it with the.
That would be the smartest business move, and I believe that
to clear out that stock, and then because then you could put a bigger price tag on it, and people will turn around and buy it Wow. Yeah, man, I love it. Thank you, man. Man, you are just coming up, man. You are the business acumen, brother. Thank you so much. Because see, now I'm starting to think along the lines of what you were saying about looking at it from a business perspective. If you look at it from a business perspective, you could totally see why this is happening versus being critical of what they're doing, as a company. It's like they got to clear out all that old stock. They still have money to make. Dolores wants to know how long before we get a showercade. I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put
No,
it past. I don't
no.
know. The couple of the games that would be on there, Tapper,
Bubbles.
Bubbles, Bubble Bobble, Leisure Suit Larry, Tubin.
Oh,
Tubin would be on there too. They could do all kind. They could put all kinds of water related games on the cap.
and it legitimately will be waterproof. So there you go.
And we've got let's see. Mike says here, Rhea, consider the Gamer Mini from At Games when it is on sale for $50, which it is right now currently. From there, you can add the Cormax and pinball buttons and have the full experience for under $200. That is a good.
My man over there
really
is doing
good.
the math.
That's actually a very, very smart thing. Now, I had gotten the At Games Legends Gamer Pro a couple of years back. It was on clearance at a local Walmart for $49.99.
Oh man, you stole that.
And to me, I feel like it was the greatest value ever because it comes with the trackball and everything. And I like to play the bowling games, and so I'm like, like using the trackball, knocking myself out. The thing is, At Games has high quality buttons and sticks. We were talking about buttons and sticks earlier, about how the buttons and sticks never change. If you want the highest quality buttons and sticks out of the box, you either go with something from At Games or you go with something from iArcade.
I believe they're from the same manufacturer that makes clones for
San
Juan clones. So
yeah, absolutely. And let's see. Rhea says, Mike, I'll have to look this up. I'm leaning more towards convenience and aesthetics because of my limited time. I don't know, Rhea. I'm kind of torn because I understand all of the arguments for the At Games if you only want one machine. But then at the same time, it's like it's hard for me not to recommend the iArcade because of all the new things that they're doing with the online functionality of the games and the fact that they continue to add games from week to week. So I'm a little bit torn. I kind of like, because I'm going to love being able to play iArcade online with people. I mean, there's so many great people in this community. And that's not to say that you can't go online with At Games, but let's be honest.
It's a different experience.
Arcade net.
That's a way different experience.
A way different experience, and there's never anybody in the lobbies. I'm just saying. It's like you're.
To be honest with you, it's kind of like Fight Kid. You have to bring your own party. You have to bring your own party if you want the experience. And then there's certain games on there, like if you play the run and guns, if you play the shoot 'em ups, if you play the puzzle games, they're a good experience. Fighting games, not so much because they're playing on a server. So you're depending on if your connection is good, is that other person's connection is good. It could really give you a sour taste.
Right.
But in terms of iArcade, they could do peer-to-peer and server. And if you do peer-to-peer on a fighting game, you're going to get a good experience.
Absolutely. And the third floor arcade with Jason says, maybe I'll buy an Atari Couchcade for $10 on clearance. What about you? You going to get an Atari Couchcade on clearance?
I don't care if it was on clearance, to be honest with you. I don't have nostalgia for Atari games, to be quite honest with you. I don't.
Yeah. And that dude Vince says, I love my At Games Legends Gamer Mini with coin ops, as we all do. The coin ops is like the greatest thing ever invented if you like arcade games.
Oh, for sure.
Because literally every arcade game you can think of is on there pretty much. And if it's not on there, it's probably just because it's it's too hard to run, and it was
Yeah.
never a standard arcade game. Like right now, you can't play Killer Instinct on Coin Op X on the Legends Gamer Ultimate, but you can connect a PC or
Yeah,
connect
if you have a PC and you do coin out for PC,
and connect
again, the
that to the
sky's the
Legends.
limit.
I mean, and you can play Killer Instinct on there, and you can play all your consoles. I mean, it's oh, it's great. It's great. I don't know. I'm feeling so like I'm feeling so overwhelmed with all the positivity right now, man. Because we can't talk about any of these consoles, any of these arcades, and really be negative. They've all got their advantages and disadvantages. They're
Oh
all great.
yeah. See, that's the beautiful thing about being in this um community right now. Like you have options. And when you have options, it's only good for the community because they push each other to do better. Do you think that Arcade One Up would have put Wi-Fi or online gaming if it wasn't for at games having online? Or do you think that at games, I mean, iArcade would have pushed for online gaming if Arcade One Up wasn't pushing that and people were getting excited about it? These things push the other companies to do better, and we
Uh,
benefit from it.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Online is the way now because I tell people all the time, all my best friends are online. So if I want to do something, especially now in the world climate that we're living in, man, I gotta say, I mean, being able to play online is a blessing. And console fanboy says, "LOL, Dolores." Okay, Zod is my cousin. Exactly, bro. We're family, 100%. And OTG says, "Say it, Zod." I think when I was talking to you before about the about that one line.
Yeah.
And Rhea is saying Mortal Kombat 2, Marvel versus Capcom 2 as well. Street Fighter 2 fighting sequels ending in 2 are god tier. Gotta agree with you, Rhea. See, Rhea, that's why I think you should listen to UAG and get an At Games Legends Ultimate because you can play all those games right with Coin Ops X. In fact, if you get a Legends Ultimate or a Legends Mini, I'll send you the USB
And he said you're gonna get
drive
some
that it
sauce.
needs. I'll send you the drives so that you can plug them into your Act games and have all the arcade games you'll ever want to play. It's incredible because every game that you're talking about in the chat here is included in there. You can play all those games. So you won't have to wait for Arcade One Up or any other company to come out with a cabinet for that stuff. The third floor arcade with Jason wants to know, when does the Killer Instinct Countercade come out? I don't know. I think that they should come out with one before the end of the year, to be honest with you. But I don't think we'll see an official Killer Instinct Countercade until after the pro version of Killer Instinct comes out.
Yeah,
What do you think, UAG?
I agree. To be honest with you, if I was a betting man, I'd say we don't even see it this year. I think we'll see it next year.
And Mike says Michael B is not getting those collector cades unless his buddy Michael D sees sees them on checkout. Yes, Michael D, the man who he traded for his Killer Instinct. Oh,
Oh man.
when he said that story, I was like, bro, this is the first sign that you have a problem when you have to lie to justify your purchases.
Okay.
You're a
So
grown man. You don't have to lie
I'm
about
gonna tell you a
nothing.
little secret because hopefully my wife is not watching. So every time I buy something, I have to tell her that it's on sale. No, that was on sale. Don't. It was on sale. That's why I got it. So we all I have to tell these lies
No,
sometimes.
no. I get it. I get that. But bro, I get that. All right. I get what you're saying. But he straight up lies to his viewers constantly. He's like, well, hey, I made a trade with Michael E. And Michael E decided that he didn't watch Killer Instinct. And I'm like this. My first question when he brought up that other Michael was this. My question for him was, what did you have to give him for that $1,000 cabinet? Because this is Canada, so everything is more expensive out there.
He had to give him a kidney.
Yeah, what did he have to give you? What kind of a trade did y'all work out? Did you have to give him your firstborn? I mean, what's the what was the balance and value there, Michael? I don't know. Turbo Joe is hopeless. Sometimes he loves buying stuff at launch, then complains when they release a better version soon after. I've kind of gotten out of that. Like, to me, FOMO never crosses my mind. I don't get something unless I actually want it. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Isn't that FOMO though? Like, not okay. It's a combination. Like, it's something that you want, but you in your mind, you're like, I should be smarter about this. I should wait. I know it's gonna go down cheaper.
Well,
I
look
know.
at the
And then something in
Countercade.
the back of your mind is like this, but you need it now. Go get it now.
Well, look at the Countercades. When they came out, they were what, 229, 249, something like that. Now they're
Mhm.
now, like, for example, if you like Mortal Kombat, you can get it as low as I think 149,
But isn't
139.
that the price it should be though?
Yeah, it actually went down to the price that it actually should be, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, because
I
you know,
always tell everybody one of the things that I say, you don't have to be first. You don't have to be first because the market will set itself.
Five Below.
The market will set itself. The price will go down to the price it should be. All the suckers like me and OTG will buy them first, and then eventually the community will get it at the price it should be. Just gotta wait.
Grocery outlet. I either buy most things when they are in the middle of the life cycle, so I get a good price, or in clearance. That way, I have zero complaints. Well, one of the biggest things that really put me off of Killer Instinct, in spite not being the world's biggest Killer Instinct fan to begin with, was all the problems people were having.
Oh,
And then when
was notorious.
OTG made his classic videos about driving to McDonald's to get Wi-Fi, I was just like, bro, I'm like, this is really no, dude. And my pet peeve is buying these flat packed arcades and then having to spend 6 hours building them. No, thank you.
It's not something. Some people enjoy it,
Oh,
but not
no.
me. Not me.
UAG's not gonna lie and say
Especially
he
like
enjoys
the
putting these
newer
together.
versions that have that little plate. Oh no, man. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, physical lives. I agree with you. Physical media is where it's at. He says Joe will maybe buy another one wheel next year. The guy will have more skateboards than family members. uh, and we got Dolores Peters singing to everybody. Let's get physical.
Oh.
Physical. Let's get physical. Yeah, absolutely. And then
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I'm gonna pretend like everything is okay because there might be an issue. There may not be an issue. We may be perfectly fine. So let's see. I'm gonna keep on watching the chat. I heard the MVSX is already pre-assembled. The top is you just have to do the you have to do the stand. Hold on, okay, Dolores. So me fix this. Okay. Guys, keep on in the chat. Have a conversation with me. Hey, I'm still here though. I'm still here and I'm still going. And that's okay. The stream keeps on going. That's the beautiful thing about StreamYards. StreamYards will keep on going until you get your shit right. Bobby blued his wig back. That's funny, bro. Let's see what else is. Bobby blued his wig back. Yeah. So guys, you're on with ZodWriter and UAG. So I'm gonna give you my fresh thing. Arcade Illuminati. Right there for you. Right there for you. Throw them up. Tell me if you shouldn't make the collector kit XL and show off the baby kit, and I'll do it. UAG, what's your NBA Finals prediction? I think it's gonna be the Sixers, and I would have said Phoenix. But because that guy got hurt, bro, I don't know. I don't know who's going to come out on the West, man. I think Golden State might pull it off. I think Golden State is looking real strong. So imagine if it's Golden State versus the 76ers. That will be an awesome, awesome finals. Is this the Joey Crack screen? Yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is. RB. I think NB is MVP, bro. He's proven that. He's proven that he can do it. He plays his back to the basket and shooting. He's doing good. I'm definitely not powerful, but I did take over the stream. Now it's just me. It's just me and you guys. But you know what? We're gonna hold it down for my man Zod. Zod will be back. Dude, I got that robe frame, bro. I'm gonna show it on stream one of these days. I got it framed. You know, because I love that. Sharon, you come to the dad. She's a little risky. Celtics come. You think this? I don't know. I think the Celtics. I don't know if they could. I don't think they can handle Embiid, bro. I think Embiid is too big, too strong, too big and too strong for the Celtics. Would I be surprised if the Celtics made it? No, not at all. I unfortunately I can't strip because if I strip, I would cause y'all to go blind, and we don't want that. It's not that kind of show, right? I can't do that. Zod, my man, you put on a title a bit of weight and you started wearing shades. Yeah, well, you know, the that quarantine gonna do it for you. I started eating good. The whole day not realizing it was 421. King is back. But don't worry, I'm gonna take her back. OTG. I'm gonna take her back. Now that I'm gonna be practicing King of Fighters on my Steam Deck, you in trouble, my dude. You think if he did do that, that would be a shame. If he just left, he's watching. He's like, yo, let me go to the bathroom real quick. Let me get a drink, a beverage, and then he says, I'm coming back. I don't even know what that is. Mariah Pack. I don't know what that is. That is probably interviewing someone else. You think so? It's a possibility. Wait a minute. I put him over there. He's on the shelf right now, bro. He's on the shelf right now. Yo, don't be disrespecting Baraka. Let me take the glasses off. Let y'all see that I'm not high. I'm not high, guys. I'll tell you the eyes is I'm sensitive to the light. Street Fighter the movie is the best game ever. Okay, so OTG, bro. I know that you know you've been partaking in some maybe an adult beverage or maybe you know you indulge yourself in probably some that sticky icky, but that's impossible for that game to be top tier or good game or best game of the ever. It's just that's not something that's possible. How do I feel about other channels? Let's have some real talk. So real talk. Um, how do I feel about other channels? I think there's a lot of good channels. I think there's a lot of fake channels. I think that yeah, for real. I feel like, a lot of channels tell you what you want to hear. I think there's a lot of channels who like to secretly throw shade at you, or some just deliberately throw shade at you, and they think that they're the all powerful and can you know be Teflon Don. They won't get any blowback. But you keep on keeping on, and that's it. Fuck them. What else you gonna do, bro? A young Dwayne Johnson, and maybe an old one, or maybe an old one. So that's what you're gonna. That's how it is, bro. That's how it is. So it's the Penny Arcade Expo. There's one in Texas and Boston called PAX East. The one in Boston is this weekend. Oh man, I'm not going. I'm not going. Unfortunately, UAG is a pimp. Oh man, I don't got my pimp hat though. I don't got my pimp hat, so yeah, I'm not a pimp, bro. Five Below surprised me with some of the modern games that they have. I picked up a bunch of Series X games around the holidays, and I guess stores couldn't move due to a lack of Series X's. No, wow, that's a lie, bro. I was about to. I was wondering if this guy was gonna come back. He's
Thank
back.
you so much for holding it down, UAG. I had a slight power outage, knocked me out, and I
Wow.
couldn't do anything. So I had to wait for it to come back, but it came back. And I'm good. Thank you so much for holding it down, man. I was worried there for a minute. I'm like, I'm gonna come back. Everybody's gonna be gone. Oh my goodness.
Nah, man, I wasn't gonna let that happen. We was talking smack. You missed a couple of things. You don't. Good thing you wasn't here because you don't get no blowback for that.
Well, hey, man, I just appreciate you holding it down while I have to deal with this problem. I mean, it totally took me out. I was in the middle of giving props to Die for Bobby Vu. I don't know. Maybe it was Michael B's people tired of me talking about Michael B, and they somehow
they they
tapped
called they
into my
called the
system.
Illuminati. They was like this. Nah, bro, shut it down. Shut it
Shut it down. He can't be saying all of that.
down.
And we got Skywalker the Jedi in the chat. He said I was just at an arcade a few weeks ago, putting in work on The Simpsons and NBA Jam. Well, you did good because you're saving yourself money by not buying those overpriced one ups.
My man got the black suit Superman on in
Absolutely.
the profile pic.
He's a real
Oh,
one right there. Skywalker the Jedi is legit 100%. So much love to you, Skywalker the Jedi. Thank you so much for being here. Skywalker the Jedi says Killer Instinct 2, Street Fighter 2, and Rampage. Nice. Nice. And
I
we
got a
got,
question for you, bro.
yeah, go ahead.
What is your most anticipated movie of the year?
Right now, I don't really have an anticipated movie. Most of the movies I was looking forward to got pushed back. I would say because I was most looking forward to Black Adam.
Yeah.
I thought I think Black Adam's gonna be legit. But I don't know. What about you, man?
I would say that would have been mine too. If it was still on schedule.
Yeah, they pushed everything back. I don't know what's
What
coming out.
do you
Although
think
I do
that they're
want to
gonna
see,
do?
although I do want to see Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is going to be awesome. The multiverse of madness.
I got my ticket already, so I'm excited. Do you think that they're gonna do a complete reboot?
No. Mm-mm.
So you think that they're gonna rock with freaking Flash after all the shit he's gone through.
Well, no, I don't know about Flash. See, I have an unpopular opinion. I believe that Flash movie is going to get shelved. I don't think we're going to ever see that movie. They moved that movie so far back, and with all the problems going on with Mr. Ezra Miller, I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to even see that movie because they would have to pull it Back to the Future and reshoot the entire movie, replacing Ezra Miller with a different actor, and then hope it's successful. And I don't think they're going to do that because that means they got to bring everybody back to come in and do reshoots and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's going to cost a lot of money, bro.
So with all the money that they've put into that film already, you think they would just let it die?
Well, I think because of all the bad and negative publicity, that this is now an option that's on the table that wasn't before. Because this new guy that came in and bought Warner Brothers, this David Zaslav, he's a no nonsense guy. I don't know if you ever listen to him talk, but he doesn't take BS. So I don't really think, I think he would be looking at it from a financial perspective that it's probably would be better to shelve this movie and just move forward and not have to deal with all the negative, not have to deal with all the negative nonsense. That's what I think is going to happen. Because they moved it back far enough to where if they, because either that or they got to continue to move it back even further. And then at what point do you stop and say, we keep moving these movies. What are we going to do? Are we going to release it or not? Because I at one point I thought maybe they would just dump it on HBO Max, cut their losses and just dump it, have it run limited theatrical, like a 1 week, like Fathom Events kind of thing, and then just drop it on HBO Max. But with all the negative press, you still have Ezra Miller acting a fool. And from what I'm hearing, he doesn't want, they want him to get help, want him to get therapy, and he doesn't want to get therapy. So if he doesn't want to get therapy and he doesn't want to get his stuff together, I don't know what to say. I think at this point, it's probably better for everybody if they just
cut their losses, right?
Yeah, cut your losses and move on, because you're not going to ingratiate yourself to the fan base by pushing out a movie that nobody really wants.
It would have been different if he wasn't the main focal point. If it wasn't the Flash movie.
Right,
if he
was
just a
secondary, he's the star of the movie. It's like I said, it would be like replacing Marty McFly in Back to the Future, like what they did there. And honestly, I did enough like research and stuff about Back to the Future that I found out a lot of people don't realize this. I found out that they shot almost the entire movie Back to the Future with this dude. It's a lot. They shot a lot more with Eric Stoltz than they admitted that they did. They made it seem like they only shot like a quarter of the movie or whatever with him, and then they replaced him with Michael J. Fox. It turns out that they shot almost all of it. So realistically, if they wanted to, at some point down the line, when they run out of Back to the Future material to release, they could put together a cut and actually release the Eric Stoltz version of Back to the Future. They could do that if they really wanted to, if they want to try and milk it and make some more money off of Back to the Future, since they know they're not going to make any more Back to the Future movies. But
it's a possibility.
When I think we'll see that, if that happens, I don't think we'll see anything like that until Michael J. Fox dies. Out of respect for Michael J. Fox, they won't release another cut of Back to the Future while he's alive. And then after that, then they'll release the Eric Stoltz, So probably, my guess would probably be something like the 50th or 60th anniversary of like Back to the Future or something. They might decide they're gonna finally put out this alternative take of the film. But that's just my view. But I did a lot of research. I read a lot of unauthorized biographies and things where they talked about it behind the scenes, about the movie and about all the different goings on and all the shenanigans that happened when they had to make the decision about replacing Michael J. Fox. So that would be replacing him with Michael J. Fox. So that would be some interesting stuff. As far as the Flash goes, I really don't think we're going to see it at this point, unless somehow between now and then Ezra Miller like miraculously like comes out of this okay and straightens himself out.
I wonder if this is going to affect Fantastic Beasts anyway.
Well, Fantastic Beast, I mean, he wasn't really that big of. He wasn't part of the press tour for that or anything anyway.
Yeah.
His role in I think Fantastic Beasts is kind of dead as a franchise anyway at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
It's just funny, the days that we live in with cancel culture and whatnot, it can affect people. It will affect them. So if it was going to make any money, it could have been, it would impact them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really, I'm hopeful that everything will work itself out, and and maybe this is all just overreaction on the part of people now, and maybe it's not as big of a deal as it's made out to be. But dude literally threw a chair at a woman.
Dude, but he just
I mean,
got out of
you can't
court.
do that. And he just got out of court.
court.
I mean, it's hard to make excuses for a guy that's still making excuses. It's hard to. It's like when somebody does something stupid in Hollywood. It's like you always give them the first one. But after like the third, fourth, fifth time, you're just kind of like, dude, you really got a problem.
Now.
Something's not cool. I mean, I just don't get it. To Die For says he's alive. Yes, I am. I am alive. I am here. And again, UAG, I thank you, man, for holding it down. This is how I know you're having a good time being here with me, because if you didn't like being here, you would have left as soon as I dipped. As soon as I was going like, see you later.
Well, it's over.
But I mean, and OTG says I nominate Zod to get every Countercade to make videos on. Well, I did make a video on the Mortal Kombat 2 Countercade when it came out. I did a live stream about it, showcased it, talked about it for almost 2 hours, I think. And, and I was happy with it. I mean, that's one of the few arcade one-ups that I really didn't have any complaints about, other than the fact that
you had the same complaint.
I didn't like that it was 2 players.
Exactly.
Because it looks like a flotation device.
It was made, it was this short for being perfect. Put it 1 player, and if you really wanted to hit it out the park, 1 player with online, and then the game, it would have been game over for that Countercade.
Oh yeah. The online, and that was the other gripe I had too, where I said, why didn't this Countercade have online built into it out of the gate? I mean, come on, man. I mean, and then you want to build the online community, don't you? But hey, that's what Laundromat Wars is for. Laundromat Wars is all about building the community. All right. We're not about defacing people and making fun of people and kicking people down. No, we're about building people up and allowing people to enjoy these games and enjoy being around other gamers that like this stuff. That's Laundromat Wars is all about positivity, man. Even if there are pineapples being used in derogatory ways.
You know why we listen. We chose Laundromat Wars and the name and everything like that because it's probably the most stupid stuff that you can't even take that serious. You can't even take it serious. Like, you're going to the laundromat, you get your clothes washed. It's the shit talk.
But everybody has an experience though, going into a laundromat and playing one of their favorite arcade games. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia, and people are going to laugh at me about this, but I say this all the time. I have a lot of nostalgia for the game Pit Fighter. People don't like Pit Fighter. People hate Pit Fighter.
You and OTG are from the same cloth.
People think Pit Fighter's crap. But I used to go to a laundromat that used to have a Pit Fighter machine, and I used to play as Kato and kick butt on Pit Fighter every time I'd go in there. And I'll tell you, if Arcade 1-Up were to release a Pit Fighter machine, I would have a hard time
Not getting it.
talking myself out of not getting it because I have so much nostalgia for it, in spite of the fact that I've got 6 million other ways that I can play Pit Fighter. I don't really need a Pit Fighter cabinet, but
I I think that that kind of game, like that Tattoo Assassins, uh, Primal Rage, those games would have an awesome life on an iArcade.
if it happens, oh my god. I was just thinking about this the other day. All the games that iArcade could scoop up, both modern and classic, that you'll never see on Arcade One Up. Like I hear a lot of YouTubers out there talking about how much they love Qbert. That'd be a perfect game for iArcade. So many
Like
people would buy it. So many people want Space Invaders on iArcade, which is coming. So many people want certain things like I would definitely buy Pit Fighter if it were to come to iArcade.
I think it, it has a good niche audience. People would, it's an IP that's recognizable, but Arcade One Up probably is like, we're not gonna make enough money off of it. Where Arcade would like, give it to me. We make it a marquee title. It would do well. I think it would do well. It
Charge,
would
yeah,
sell well.
we could do. They could justify putting that on iArcade for $12.99 and people would buy it. I mean, I think Map Mania when that came out was $12.99, and we know Map Mania is not exactly the most graphically intense, super awesome title, but people have nostalgia for it. It's a fun game. I mean, like Mug Smashers. I got Mug Smashers when it was on sale for like $3.50 or something on iArcade. But it's still a fun little game to play, and it's nice to have that, uh, to get that little fix and be able to play it. And not to mention all the modern stuff like Mayhem Brawler. And that's why I say they need like Streets of Rage 4. They need to get this Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge when that comes out. All that kind of stuff needs to be on iArcade because they've got the hardware. Whereas Arcade One Up does not have the hardware for that kind of stuff.
I mean,
You could get Tekken. You could get Tekken on an iArcade.
Listen, they can run anything. It's the licenses. What licenses can they get? Personally, for me, I think that they should focus on those obscure titles that they're like dormant IPs, like the Primal Rage, the Pit Fighters, the Tattoo Assassins, those games, the Street Fighter the movie, those kind of games, and try to make it where it's like a mirror of the Steam store, and you can get all those modern games on there that are from indie developers. Like I think that would really, that's a lane that nobody's in, and that would be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I'm not every game, and another game I was thinking too, like that I'd love to see on iArcade, Zero Team USA. It's a fun beat 'em up. It would be perfect for iArcade.
I have to look that up. I've never seen that game.
Play it on your Bobby Voo PC. It's on there.
Okay.
Oh my god, man, it's fun. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. Let's see. We got. I'm just trying to see. Get caught up with the chat here. OTG says Pit Fighter is amazing. And this is the thing, man. I was disappointed that there was never, that there was never a Pit Fighter sequel. There was one in development, and it got shelved. They decided not to move forward. I think they even did a prototype for Pit Fighter.
I will give it love because without Pit Fighter, maybe Mortal Kombat wouldn't exist.
Right. Remember,
right? Pit Fighter
came out in 1990, 1991, something like that. And you would not have had Mortal Kombat without that. That was the start of the digitized graphics thing. Yeah, OTG, man. OTG knows Zero Team USA is really good. You see, yeah, I'm telling you, I would love to see that on iArcade. I would be jumping up and down to see that on iArcade because it would look great on that 19-inch monitor, man. And oh my god, I just these kinds of games. Dolores Peters, I assume you're related to Sharon. Yes, Dolores is Sharon's cousin.
There's some sexy women.
And Rhea says, I wonder if iArcade can't afford bigger licenses because their margins are so tight. If there's only a few thousand produced and ready to sell, the machines are probably being sold near cost. That's an interesting take on it.
I think it's a combination of that, and
Yeah.
on top of that, see, these big corporations, these big publishers, they don't let you have a seat in the room until you have a certain amount of sales. They got to
Yeah.
say, if it's kind of like if you had a franchise. A franchise wants you to have $1 million liquid asset before you could buy into buying the franchise. That's the similar, way that you need to have 1 million, subscriber base before they can even have a conversation with you.
Yeah, and at some point, I would expect to see iArcade get there to the point where they'll have a game store just like you got on PlayStation or Xbox or wherever, where you can just buy your games right off. And because iArcade is essentially an arcade console, they can justify collections like the Castlevania collection, the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, that kind of stuff. I expect to see that kind of stuff eventually come to iArcade because they've got the capability to run that stuff.
I think that is a way bigger chance of happening when you basically are a console in a sense in a arcade format. So if you talk about like one of these gaming collections where they're on Steam, they're on all the consoles,
Right.
then you could say, we should be able to fit in that mold. And then you could, if you start talking about attachment rates, like you say, on average, if you have a great title like we have Retromania and there's a 20% attachment rate to our user base, you can bring that back to them and say, look, you're going to get the sales if you just provide us the right software. So
Yeah.
it's a combination, and it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, definitely. And Reyes says, yes, UAG getting into the business facts. That's definitely fire. Absolutely. And Rainwater Games says, yeah, sort of. The license cost has to make sense with how many copies of that game they expect they can sell. It has to be a profitable option. Yeah. And again, I'm becoming more and more excited because like every Friday, I never know what iArcade's going to release. I'm like, they could one day out of the blue they could announce Virtual Fighter or Streets of Rage 4 or something along that, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of reaching those numbers that they need to get a seat at the table, because technically they are a console, so that means they're in the same, they could be at the same table as Sony and Xbox and Nintendo and be able to have access to the same types of games and same types of collections. We know that the machine has the power. So it's just a matter of reaching that point. And that's why I hope for nothing but the best for iArcade. I feel like they are the future. And at some point, they are going to, and all it's going to take, in my opinion,
it just needs one title.
One big title that is exclusive to them, and it's game over.
And they're also, with the revamp of the model with the Pro Series, they got a lot of people that were on the fence that said, hey, I'm not getting this because this doesn't look like a traditional machine. I want a marquee. I want this. I want that. They rectified that with the new model. So this is not necessarily for the older people. This is for new people on the fence, and that's going to help them grow that user base.
Well, how I knew that iArcade was on the path to doing things right was when 19K Fox ordered his, because 19K Fox has been very, very critical of iArcade, and when he actually purchased the Double Dragon version, I was I knew then. I'm like, see, you guys are on the right path. That's all you have to do is do the one thing that's going to entice somebody who has no interest in it. Give them that game and you're in. And honestly, I think Streets of Rage 4 could be that game. I think Turtles, the Shredder's Revenge. Who wouldn't want to play that on an arcade machine?
Dude,
I mean, come on.
Ninja Turtles has been out since the 80s. So we're talking about a IP that's been around for almost 40 years, and it withstand the test of time. You have multiple generations that are interested in that IP. If they've got that, that could be a game changer.
And I got a super chat here from our good friend OTG. Man, I swear, man, Jason, bro, you're amazing, bro. I mean, we had fun on late night Q&A last week, and this is turning out to be just as much fun too. I have to say, man, this is so awesome, dude. I'm making it my mission. I'm gonna get Turbo Joe. iArcade is almost there. My friend said they sold 250K units already. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because they're doing it right. I mean, the base unit alone, while it's not the prettiest unit in the world to look at, it's got those great speakers. The sound is second to none, and some of these games are fantastic. The other day I was thinking, because Breaker's Revenge is a Neo Geo game, and I noticed today they just announced that Breaker's Revenge will be one of the games that goes online tomorrow, and
rightfully so.
I'm like, that's a fighting game. We'll be able to play people in the community. There's so many people in this community that have the iArcade that have been wanting to go online and play. It's like when you can go online and you can play people, now things are going right. And they're saying, well, there was rumor that they're going to start charging when they do some online. If it's a small fee and they do some kind of thing where they give you access to, more of their library and stuff for being a subscriber or whatever to their online service, it'll be worth it.
Just put the value in there.
Put the value there. Make it worth it.
Listen, Zod, when Breaker's Revenge goes on, make sure you play Rainwater if you want to get practice. There'll be free wins right there. You'll be able to play him. He is legitimately probably the worst player in the whole community.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing Rainwater. And I honestly, I'm looking forward to playing everybody on iArcade. I'm looking forward to, because I do have an iArcade. It's not like, Big Blue where I missed out because I don't have a Big Blue and I don't have any plans on ever buying a Big Blue. But the iArcade, I'll definitely be there for whatever they put online. They also are putting one of my favorite basketball games of all time, making that online. Street Hoop, the Neo Geo basketball game that I think is better than NBA Jam. That's also going online tomorrow. And I'm super excited because I love that game.
Camping. It sounds like Rainwater is running. He's running from these pineapples. Come get the pineapples. It's pineapple season. We're giving out doles, and you're getting one too.
And Dolores says, correction, 19-inch Fox. Well, you know what, Dolores, I'll take your word for it, because that was really not something that I was really thinking about. So that's cool. We'll let you have that one, Dolores. Let's see. We got Rainwater says, I'm going camping this weekend, but Nick is right. I'm horrid bad at fighting games. Well, it's okay, Rainwater, because I'm going to play. Is that bowling game that Bill McLaughlin, is that online yet?
I think it might be.
That Bill and his son were involved with. Because I got that game and I don't really know if it's online or not. I'm terrible at it. But
if it's online. It's online.
OTG says UAG's free to me in Breaker's Revenge.
He's lying to himself, bro.
Are you good at Breaker's Revenge? I don't know.
I'm gonna destroy him. Do you know what? As a matter of fact, Saturday, come check him out. He's gonna be getting a pineapple.
Okay. Well, we need Laundromat War T-shirts with the pineapple on it.
Oh, we're gonna get a shirt that says pineapple season on the front, and the back is gonna be a nice pineapple.
That'd be awesome. Oh my God. Yes. And they'll have a little Laundromat Wars logo in the corner. Oh my God.
Oh, we're gonna get it.
That's great. Camping as in chilling in a motorhome. I'm not an animal. Well, actually, Rainwater, I could see you. Why don't you bring your iArcade with you and hook it up so we can play this weekend, man? I just want to know. And Fighters Evo, thank you so much, brother. Man, I'm down with the Evo. $20 super chat. Despite being tired, I'm really enjoying these late night streams. I like these guests from Console Fanboy to UAG and OTG. Thank you, ZodWriter, for always keeping it real, bro. Respect my ninja. Oh, and blast them speakers. Yes, absolutely. I'm telling you, these speakers are fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Fighters Evo. Oh my God, you guys know how much this community is gold. It is 1,000%. And when you got people like Console Fanboy, Fighters Evo, UAG, Bobby Vu, everybody here, it's like, listen, this is what it's all about. It's about these connections. It's about these kinds of friendships and this family-oriented atmosphere that we have here. Nobody is looking to put anybody down, and it's a beautiful thing, man, especially when you see the way that some things are going in certain circles on the internet, man.
Yeah, man.
I got rid of all my quarters. I don't keep quarters on me anymore. Chris Kavanaugh,
we're going debit card. We're going. Wait a minute. Oh, this is what we're doing. We're doing like when you go to Dave & Buster's and you get the card and you swipe it. No.
Yeah,
you got to use the card, baby.
We don't use quarters anymore. Okay, like Console Fanboy says, F them quarters. And we got Chris Kavanaugh here, UAG, dishing out all of them tropical fruits. Yeah, that's another question I had for you. Okay, so we've got a place for the pineapples.
Yeah.
And because OTG is your friend, you've always said, you for him, it's always about the Dole pineapples. Okay, this is how I pay attention. The Dole pineapples are a higher quality than the Del Monte.
OTG is Del Monte. He's a cheap ass bastard. He does the Del Monte. If you come to me, I provide you the freshest of fruit from Dole.
Go Dole. Okay. So what would be some of the other fruits that could be included in this fruit basket that is building from the Laundromat Wars? Because I could see grapes playing a role at some point because they're smaller and they can fit in certain areas. I could see perhaps maybe plums also because they're small and they can be deposited in areas a little bit easier.
I see where you're going, but for me, it's more about the punishment. So I'm seeing watermelon. I'm seeing cantaloupe. I'm seeing whatever can cause the most damage. This is my thought process.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. You want the punishment to be high quality, which is why you always use Dole. That makes sense.
And leaf first. If you're really bad, leaf first. That's the most disrespectful way.
Oh my God. Console Fanboy says, I'm losing so much on Fightcade. I now bathe in pineapple juice. Well, you're a smart man because I don't even
young. It keeps you
barely even go on Fightcade. I was happy when I won my 2 or 3 matches on Mortal Kombat 2, and I felt like king of the world. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here because honestly, I have a couple wins.
Oh, so you did it. So you did a Console Fanboy. See, Console Fanboy, I love him, but he is an editing master. I call him clip master because he's so good with. If you watch one of his videos, he always wins. He always wins. I love that man.
His videos are the best, just like his music. Listen, Console Fanboy, your music is a masterpiece. Every song is a masterpiece. I especially right now, I can't stop listening to Keep Bobby Out Your Mouth. That song to me is like I got it on like replay on Spotify right now as we speak. It's playing. I mean, this song, every time I put my headphones on, I want to hear it.
Makes
Yeah.
berries for the
After
win.
quarters. For
Mm.
real. Rainwater Game says, I refunded that horrible bowling game. Oh my God. Here's the thing, Rainwater. I love bowling games. Okay, bowling games are fun to me. I play Capcom bowling all the time. I like the bowling championship, because with the Legends Gamer we got the track ball, so you can do all that. So I'm giving this bowling game the benefit of the doubt. It's honestly the controls are difficult, and I'm not very good at it. But I'm thinking that the game is kind of a work in progress because it's only $4.99. So I'm sure there'll be updates to it at some point, which is why I'm holding on to it, because I don't think that it. I mean, you can tell that it was kind of released maybe before it was ready. It's kind of like beta right now, but I don't know. I have hope, because where how it looks now, it looks like it's off to a good start, but it's
It has promise.
a little
It
bit
has promise.
sluggish. But it will. I think it will get better. I really do. Sharon Peters says my cousin is the best. Oh yeah, Dolores is a lot of fun. I'm glad that
When
Dolores
I hear
decided to join us
Dolores, I
tonight.
think of clitoris.
Yeah, well,
Apologies.
that's probably the idea. Uh the code always wins says just gotta step into the octagon. All will get better after it gets worse. Yeah, and you could also end up with pineapples, leaf first, Dole or Del Monte, depending on if you're cheap or expensive.
and and
Uh
and also OTG also uses canned. It's not even fresh fruit. It's canned.
oh my
It's not
god,
fresh.
how's that? And that's I'm sure that would be uncomfortable, but would it necessarily be
No.
would it be it wouldn't be as comfortable as a full leaf first hard dull pineapple. Fighters Evo Utaman OTG sweep the leg, bro. And Chris Kavanaugh said, Kingsborough, excuse me, says, now I want a Hawaiian pizza.
No, no, Chris. No. Pineapple should not be on a pizza. That is a crime. Don't
you
you
know,
do it.
the funny thing is it's like every time I've ever had pineapple on a pizza, I always thought it was going to be worse than it was, because it's hard to mess up a pizza, like
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I guess it depends on where you get it from, because I can imagine that there's some people that have not only do they put the pineapple pizza, but then they put the barbecue sauce and the
There's things
chicken
that
on it
just
too.
shouldn't be on a
It's strange.
pizza.
It is
They just
strange.
shouldn't happen.
And OTG says I have online proof. UAG
Proof.
clean like a mother. That is to die for, of course. The great Bobby Vu. Sweep the leg. Oh, there's a great song on Spotify. Sweep the leg. It's really really cool. It could be a theme song that you all play on Laundromat Wars.
This guy is so disrespectful.
What about that Fighters Evo? He ain't about the ego. If we ever see him in Cali, we're gonna knock him out like he's
Eva.
like your Devo. And with that,
Uh, oh
it's real
man.
talk. I swear to God, console fanboy. When you made that song, to me, it just felt like an anthem for all of us, because it really encapsulates the differences in the community between laundromat wars and what the people are about around here, about the games and about the friendships and the family aspect and enjoying the games, versus what other people are about, and you really draw a line in the sand. And I just thought it was beautiful. I listen to it. I listen to it all the time, multiple times
It
per
is a
day,
banger. It
and
is a
it's
banger.
great. It is great, especially over Bluetooth on those iArcade speakers. Oh man, talk about rocking the walls. I mean, geez, I would be afraid to try one of these
So
new iArcades with the JBLs.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. A little UAG story. So I was playing some kind of game super loud. It was during the day,
Mm.
and I turned off my arcade. So we had a power surge. And if you have a power surge and you have an iArcade, it will turn on automatically. And it turned on, and then the freaking attract mode was on, and everybody in my house woke up. They thought it was a burglar broke in and started playing the stereo. God damn it. It was crazy.
Could you imagine that? A burglar breaks in your house, doesn't steal anything, just breaks in your house so he can play your arcade games.
I was like, oh,
Well,
shit.
and then you ask,
I
well,
almost had a heart attack.
what was the reason why, dude, why you broke in the house? I wanted to play the arcade games. There aren't any more arcades anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't, I can't toss my quarters on the plexiglass. So I gotta go and break into people's houses to play their arcade one-ups because I can't afford any of these machines.
You're trying to get me canceled, bro.
Hell yeah, preach on, bro. Listen, I can't.
Listen, you think I give a fuck? I don't.
The way I feel right now, all of us here, all of us in this community here, and all of us in all the great people in the chat, and you and I especially on this panel, and of course Console Fanboy and all of us were canceled by that side a long time ago. Anyway,
oh, this is true.
Canceled us. So
this is true.
So there's no, there's really nothing that can be said at this point on that end. So confession, building my iArcade over the weekend, not a bad way to start off. Congratulations.
That's
beautiful. Enjoy it. Once you get it all built, you'll feel the satisfaction. And the great thing is, Chris, the quality of the parts. I mean, you want to talk about like the difference in quality between an iArcade and an arcade one-up. If you've ever put together a one-up, you will feel the difference between what you have with an iArcade. Like that iArcade, it's like if you fall on an iArcade, you're going to hurt yourself because an iArcade is
you don't even have to have a damn what do you call it, protector on there, like a deck protector. Like it's like butter. It's like butter. Like it's smooth.
Oh, yeah. No deck protector. Yeah, we don't need no stinking deck protector on the iArcade. It's a great system. It's a great system. And I love those buttons and sticks. And that's what makes me wonder. UAG, do you ever wonder why iArcade can't get their, Arcade One-Up can't get their buttons and sticks from the same place that At Games and iArcade get theirs?
They can.
I don't know why they don't.
So back to business 101. So if you think that your margins are super slim, and probably it's not, but let's say they say that they need to make a certain amount of money. They want to have 40% back, right? If you, instead of spending 5 cents a button, and you have to spend 25 cents a button, that's over a million units, that adds up. Yeah. So they go to this white room, these, with all these high ups, and they go, if we put in these buttons, will we sell any more? It's like, yeah, probably 5% more. If we kept the buttons the way they are and we keep our profit margin the way it is, are we going to sell any less? No. Then put those cheap buttons in there. Thank you.
Exactly. So again, Michael B, the buttons didn't change from Pac-Man to Killer Instinct. I'm sorry to tell you, the buttons and sticks are the same. Sharon Peters says, don't forget to ask your average gamer who his favorite porn star is. That is correct. That is a tradition on Late Night Q&A that was started by Sharon Peters. I have to ask everybody, whenever Sharon is here, I have to ask everybody every guest who your favorite porn star is. So who's your favorite porn? Okay.
Pinky.
Cool.
Look her up. She got a fatty.
And Console Fanboy says plexiglass. LOL. They got phased out during Dave and Buster's for real though. Oh yeah, quarters.
For real.
Yeah. Preach. Yes. The quarters are gotta put dollars or cords, especially in 2022. Yeah. Sharon Peters, who has the bigger pineapple though?
Oh, it's the Dole. Dole's got bigger pineapple.
Dole's got the biggest pineapple. That's why you use the Doles. That's why you use the Doles on OTG, because you want to give him the highest quality.
Listen, I care for him so much that I got to give him, the Dole. I don't want to give him no Del Monte.
I think UAG is a Ron Jeremy fan. Oh,
a little too hairy for me.
Dolores Peters, dragon fruit.
That's a
mangoes. There's Rhea with the mangoes. There you go. See, it's cool when Ray is getting involved, mentioning bringing up fruits. You're in a good spot. Mangoes. That's perfect. I can't believe I'm staying up late to listen to two grown ass men discussing fruit brands. Oh yeah, it's really, but it's a testament though, Jeff, to how great this community is, man, where we could be sitting here talking about fruits, talking about asparagus and I don't know, vaginas and penises and different types of anatomy, and people would still be here and want to hear us talk about it, and that's great. Fighters Evo, I got one word: juicy. Dolores says, Sharon, you're back. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Macchiato cherries on the face of your opponent as they look up at you. Wow. Now that's really cool. I mean, I think that's almost as disrespectful as the pineapple.
That's definitely disrespectful.
That's definitely disrespectful.
That's definitely that might have to be, added. We might, Chris. We might have to talk to you.
And Reyes talking about mixed berries, so maybe something along those lines. Because we've got to ask the question. I mean, that's what I was trying to get at before. Can there be an even greater level, an even greater friendly level of disrespect at that point? I don't know. And we got the two cousins shouting each other out. Console Fanboy says, how about kiwis? They have that fuzzy hair, testicular fortitude texture. And then we got Chris chiming in with the cherry on the top. So, there's everybody is getting in on the fruit topic. LOL, Console Fanboy, I'll buy you a case of Dole cans. Oh, the cans. Yeah, the cans are disrespectful, because the cans, while not as high quality as the Dole, would be just as painful and disrespectful, if not more painful, because of the can itself. The texture of the can would not be comfortable. The code always wins. Yo, Sharon Peters, is that you? Do you have a local puppet master bringing you on the stream today? I don't believe it. No, no code. There's Sharon and there's Dolores. Both of them are related. They are cousins, or either cousins or sisters. I think they're cousins. Aren't you cousins? I thought you guys said you were cousins. And To Die For says, damn, two Peters are fire. Yes, absolutely. Console Fanboy, don't make me explain my love for kiwis. Love you too, bro. Wow, this is a great discussion. Console Fanboy needs to star in a porn movie. That'd be interesting. What would be the title? And this is a question for the two Peters in the chat. What would be the title of the porn movie starring Console Fanboy? Any guesses? Crickets. I don't know. I wish I wish Bobby was in my mouth. Okay. That's a little bit personal. Oh boy. Great value brand with a 2-for-1 coupon. Let's see. Console Fanboy says, Sharon, I'm retired from sex, but thank you. Oh wow. You're retired? I know his statue video is coming soon. It's going to be one of the best. Oh yeah, Console Fanboy got that Liu Kang statue.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. Fighters Ever says, "Wow!" with the comments from the Peters. Oh yeah, whenever Sharon and now Dolores comes into the chat, we always get some really fascinating and fun comments. The Peters girls are awesome. Peters girls are keeping it real. Can't wait for the statue video.
Oh
Me
no.
either. Let's see. We've got, yeah, that's going to be a good video. Is there anything that you collect, UAG, besides your arcade collection that you're really passionate about?
Passionate about no, but I do collect. I'm kind of a Marvel fan, so I have a lot of like knickknacks where they're either pops or Marvel Legend figurines. Like I bought the Marvel pinball from Arcade One Up.
Oh, okay.
I
Now, do
bought
you
it
like
just
the pinball? Is that a thing? Are you
well,
in it?
it was $150. I got it on that
Oh, you
era.
got that deal.
So I
Okay.
got it on era. If not, I wouldn't have bought it. And chances are I'm not gonna play it. It's probably gonna be there for art because the art on itself is worth $150 for me.
I never actually had any interest in the pinball, to tell you the truth. The only pinball game I ever play with any kind of regularity is Star Wars pinball in Oculus VR, where you can go in and you can play the Star Wars, and you have all the Star Wars characters surrounding you when you play the games and stuff. That's really the only pinball I've ever really gotten into.
I'm a big fan of virtual pinball. And I have the Ad Games one, and it's awesome. But again, I just got this one for pure aesthetics.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know your lyrics, Console Fanboy. I listen to your music every day, and that is no lie. And of course, that your
He's a hater. He's a hater.
pineapple on pizza is really good. Okay. So we have mixed views on the pineapple pizza. Maybe next week, maybe I'll do a poll or something. And we've got COTG
These
gets
are
it.
just trolls. These are just trolls.
Is it trolls, really? And the lovely Sherry says, good night, ZodWriter. Good night to you, lovely Sherry. Always a pleasure having you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. You are amazing. No, guys, Arcade One Up is the best quality hardware ever made. Fixing the input lag is cheating, and the company is absolutely never supposed to update with free patches. This group is weirding me out. Huh? well, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, Arcade One Up, they don't really do a whole lot of updates. It takes them forever to update their stuff. So, Hans Moment, is that Dolores's favorite porn star? I don't know. I break into Nick's house at least 3 times a week to play his At Game stuff, so nobody will know I actually like them. Also, I like watching him sleep. Sometimes I use his toothbrush. That is creepy. I saw a movie. I saw a movie like this where like a dude was obsessed with this woman, and like he actually did that. He broke in her place. He used her toothbrush, and he literally slept under her bed. He couldn't handle
That's
the
fucking
breakup.
creepy, bro.
That movie was creepy, and the guy in the lead was not believable in the role either. I think the name of the movie was called The Perfect Guy, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely check that out. That movie was ridiculous. Sharon Peters says, I don't toss quarters, but I have been known to toss salads. Okay, Sharon. Well, we'll keep that in mind. You have too much support to ever be canceled, bro. LOL, Sharon. Sharon wants you to put your 20s Sharon wants you to
On
put
her
your 20s
ass.
on her ass. Okay, so that's an actual that should be a line. That
I
should
would do
actually
it.
be a line from a console fanboy song. Put your put your 20s on her ass. We need to cancel. We need to. Sharon Peters says we need to cancel Rev's mustache. So we'll let that one speak for itself. OTG
Okay,
says,
impress me.
yeah, Arcade impressed me. Arcade doesn't have the IPs, but at least if you put RetroArch, it's not still a piece of furniture that states edgy compared to Xbox. I don't think you can put RetroArch on the iArcade though. How?
I mean, you could. You could theoretically if you
There's no
was able to hack it.
There's no USB port on the
I'm sure there's an
iArcade.
adapter you can get to it. I'm
The only
sure.
thing you can adapt, well, there is that other HDMI port
Mm-hmm.
that's on there, but that's for um, output. So you can plug in you can plug the iArcade into a TV or something. But in theory, you could buy one of those adapters that converts the HDMI to USB, and then maybe you can plug the USB into the iArcade and somehow hack it and be able to put RetroArch on there.
Someone in the
Awesome.
community showed a computer running on the hardware, like the screen of an iArcade, and they were using the controls, but that video was pulled down fast, and I wondered how he did it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could somehow use the deck with other devices, but it's complicated. There's
I'm
got to
sure
be
it's not
there's
easy.
got to be something on the inside. If we're talking about modding it, there's got to be something on the inside of the deck, and I'm pretty sure there's got to be maybe a USB port somewhere on the inside that's just not exposed that we don't see. And if we could get access to that, maybe it would be possible to run a PC or something else off of the iArcade hardware. But I wouldn't even want to do that because in my mind, I really want to see what iArcade is capable of themselves going forward versus modding that machine. But if you could do it and you could do it without hurting your machine, you know, but
Dude,
also you don't need a basement full of 2005 cell phones inside wood. Wow, okay. That's an interesting theory. I never even thought about it. Dean TV says Pinky. Haven't heard that name in a while. That's like saying Janet, Jack Me, or Cherokee. Pinky in the brain. Uh, what are you doing tomorrow night? Well, I know tomorrow night I do a show called Weekly Comic Book Movies, where me and my co-host Ashley the Widow break down a different comic book movie each week from the perspective of lifelong comic book readers. And tomorrow we are breaking down an old movie from Ang Lee, the 2003 version of The Hulk. So we'll be breaking down that movie from the perspective of comic book readers. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Chris Kingsborough says Fighters Evo, same thing we do every night. Pinky, try to take over the world. That's right. Okay. Let's see. Sharon Peters wants to know if we can talk about BBC and big, beautiful cabinets. Tron's getting built this weekend. Oh my God. Tron. Wow. Wow. Exactly. Okay. And Rhea says, great show. Zod, have a great evening. Y'all hit that like button. Thank you, Rhea. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This has been a really, really great stream. But now that Grandma Peters is here, I think it's about time to
that's the
wrap
time
it
to
up
sign out.
because Sharon and Dolores are saying to wrap it. Sharon and Dolores, please go to bed. So Grandma is getting tired of it. We've even got Anita Peters here, the third Peters woman, Anita Peters. Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, this is gold. Plug and play. Okay. Ooh, UAG is a cutie. Okay, we are definitely getting into a
It sounds
different.
like a.
We're getting into a different. This is a Peters family reunion because we've even got Grandpa Peters here. I didn't raise you like that, Sharon and Dolores. Grandma, go home. Okay. On that note, UAG. Thank you so much, brother, for being here tonight. Thank you for holding it down when I was dealing with that mini power outage. I don't know what the heck that was, but it literally knocked me out. I was sitting in a dark room. I don't know what was happening. It was weird. And it's never happened before while I was on a live stream. So thank you very much for
Oh, no
holding it
problem,
down.
brother.
Thank you very much for being here. What do you have coming up?
Man, this Saturday we got Laundromat Wars. We have Moat as our
Yes,
guest.
Moat.
So you'll be able to take him down if you think that you can knock the man down. Come challenge him. It'll be fun.
Game? On what game?
The beautiful thing about Laundromat Wars is that you, as the challenger, you get to decide what game it is. It could be anything that could run on Fightgate.
Well, Sharon Peters is giving it to us straight, saying, "Put your Peters on the glass." And I'll tell you, I'm going to be reaching out to you, Moat, because I got to get you here on Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter for one of these awesome conversations, because I think we would have a fun time talking, man. This has been one of the best Late Night Q&As that I've had, man. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to be looking into getting Turbo Joe as soon as possible as well, so I can say I've had the three amigos.
Oh man, definitely. And we're gonna have you on our show soon as well, man, because it was gonna be fun. I want you to be a part of the community, have fun, kill some people, and hopefully you and maybe the console fanboy have a face-to-face on who is the better Mortal Kombat fighter.
Well, I would actually have to put my money on Console Fanboy because I think I think he's got Sonya Blade down. I cannot compete with his Sonya. He tore my Johnny Cage up because Johnny Cage is my character and he tore me up last time we tried to play each other. But to be fair, I was having lag. So, hopefully, the next time there won't be any lag. But on that note, I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate everybody who's here, who comes every week and shows their support, especially the entire Peters family. That's awesome. Fighters Evo, it was great to see you. Rainwater Games, Console Fanboy, OTG, all the great people, Bobby Vu, everybody up in here. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week. Good night, everybody.
Peace, guys.